In the wrestling world, the people are represented by two separate but unequally important groups. The wrestlers and bookers, who literally do all the hard work, and the fans, who endlessly nitpick and overanalyze everything they do. These are their stories.
Hey! It's Warhorse, and you need to shut your mouth, open your eyes, and clean out your ears, because it's time to listen to the Raw and Order podcast. That's right, they're bringing you the best in all that meaty podcasty goodness in one, what is it, an hour? Two? Who cares? Who gives a shit? You need to listen to it right now, or else Warhorse is gonna, roll your ass!
Welcome to another episode of Raw and Order, the Wrestling Booking Unit, the only wrestling podcast on the planet right now, at this very moment. I am your host, Detective Mark Smarks, and I am joined, as always, by my partners in crime fighting, starting off, District Attorney Vincent Kayfabe. What's going on, man? How are you?
I had the crap scared out of me while we were doing the intro. I don't know if you saw in the little screen down below that tells you what I'm doing while we're waiting. My kid just like woke up and came down here and was like right here. Only just far enough away to make me go, oh jeez. And so I had it all excited to tell everybody about how we're only what was it, about 20 viewers or 20 subscribers away from our wrestling match, our bra and panties match.
Yep, it looks like, I don't know, I don't think we're gonna make it.
They got 3 days. 3 days. Well, they have 3 days, 1 hour, and 18 minutes as of this second, right now.
Yep, they're not going to do it.
You're gonna screwdrive them to do it?
I don't think they're going to do it. I just don't think they are.
Just saying. Got to get to the subscribers so that.
By the way, this is the temporal screwdriver. Thank you very much.
Your boobies. My boobies and your boobies can touch. We'll wear panties. My panties, I think we're safe with just like boxer shorts, right? Boxer briefs.
I guess. We're winging it on this thing if it has to happen. So, Ambrosia thinks we're safe. Like, we got this. We're safe for it. So
I think she says we got this. Like, we're gonna get it.
No, that's my point. That's it. She thinks it's safe. Bet. That's what I would say.
The other 20 are going to happen.
Also joining us from up north, RCMP JLB. What's going on, man?
Not much. We just have 3 days to create 20 accounts and follow you on Twitch. Knew I forgot to do something this weekend.
If you have that kind of free time,
I do.
I mean, what is that? That's like 18 minutes a day. Like, it's not really that hard.
No, it's not. Doing it as we speak.
Create a whole bunch of
multitasking at its finest.
Congratulations to Google on your additional 20 Gmail accounts and Twitch on your additional 20 Twitchers.
I'm going to use different emails just in case Google somehow fucks me over.
Like they started tracking your IP or something.
That's it. It's like, nope. Twitch will be like, this is not a follow. Fuck off. Because they do that for YouTube. If you try and follow your stuff,
You're talking about doo-doo now?
Doo-doo. They do.
Hey, can you guys hear me okay?
Even you do.
Hey, we can hear you fine.
We hear you fine, unfortunately.
Fernando!
Oh, that was my gift to you, buddy.
Fernando!
What's up, buddy?
Fernando!
So, before we get into talking wrestling crimes and all of that stuff, remind everyone, Raw and Order is part of the Tatnisco Podcast Network. Link is in the doobly-doos for tatnisco.com, so you can head on over there after the show and see all the other shows on the network, and then come back here for the next one. We do live stream twice weekly. That's Sunday nights and Tuesday nights. We recommend you follow us on Twitch because that's when our live stream happens even more frequently. We do some Twitch exclusive.
Fernando, get yourself a Twitch account live and
in the
follow
next
them.
3 days, 20 more subscribers, and we have a bra and panties match live exclusively on Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be a fun one.
But
Marks and me, just us two. I don't know where the other guy went.
yeah,
I'll be back.
Oh, she messed up the link. I got to take that off there.
I'm just like tree. I don't know. That looks right to me.
It looks right to me too.
But anyways,
oh fuck! Maybe she was just trying to get an oh fuck. Yeah.
Oh fuck.
Yes. Yes.
But we'll also likely be doing at least one.
How is Woody Woodpecker at gmail.com taken?
Because Woody Woodpecker is a very popular cartoon.
But it's with a T. It's woot woot, like woot woot. So it's WOOTY. WOOT.
It's obviously somebody who's a wee bit horny.
I guarantee you that's exactly what it comes down to. It's an old cartoon that people make a pun based off of.
Nah, that's fair.
You know?
That's fair.
Version one of the fucks. So
anyways.
Oh fuck.
Fuck.
Oh fuck.
Yes.
So before we start recapping the news,
the reason I mentioned Twitch is this coming weekend. There's a good chance that we will live stream, probably multiple times on Twitch exclusive, because it's almost like WrestleMania weekend this coming weekend.
20 hours of wrestling this week. I'm fucking kind of excited and not excited all at the same time.
Not watching all of it. Got my own.
Because we've got, of course, 3 hours of Raw, 2 hours of NXT 2.0, 2 hours of Dynamite, 2 hours of SmackDown, 1 hour of Rampage, and then we've got
3 hours of Clash.
3 hours of Clash at the Castle, at least. 2 to 3 hours of Worlds Collide, depending on exactly how long that is. And then 3+ hours of All Out. This is going to be...
Not to be confused with the Ludacris song. All Out. All right, sorry.
Well, it is going to be ludicrous, is what it's going to be.
What night is Worlds Collide on?
It's Sunday afternoon.
It's a noonie.
Yep.
So we have Clash at the Castle Sunday evening, All Out Saturday night.
And Clash at the Castle is, I think it's actually Sunday afternoon or Saturday afternoon. But give me 1 second, because it's in Wales.
That's right. It's Welsh, isn't it?
And so I believe it starts 1 p.m. Eastern, so that'd be 2 p.m.
Saturday?
No, 1 p.m. Eastern would be noon Central, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Noon Central.
Noon Central on Saturday, yes.
Saturday. And then Sundays, so I have to watch 2 premium television events, i.e. pay-per-views, Saturday.
No, because there's Clash at the Castle on Saturday, and then Worlds Collide is Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, and then we got All Out is Saturday.
And then we have All Out Sunday.
No, All Out is Sunday.
Oh,
yes. So Worlds Collide will actually lead into All Out. Probably not directly, because let's see. Let's find the start time specific for it, because I want to say it's like noon or 2 as well, but... World 4 p.m. Eastern, so 3 Central. Which then will go to, I mean, it'll be pretty close, depending on how long it takes. But it'll be probably done around 6 Central, and then 7 Central is going to be the start for All Out. So Sunday's going to be the busier day. And I don't know if we're going to live stream reaction to all of it. I know for a fact that on Saturday, DA Fabe would probably not be here for the live stream for for Clash at the Castle, because
I'll be working.
Usually works on Saturdays, and I mean, while depending on how busy they are at his particular job, he may be able to check in on it and and watch some parts of it. He certainly would not be able to live stream and all that. And JLB looks like, so if anyone live streams Clash of the Castle, it'll be me. And don't even think I can guarantee that. So Worlds Collide might be something we live stream, because that theoretically could be the game changer for NXT, in the fact that reports have it, well, not even reports, but it's been reported that this will be the end for NXT UK for the time being, and that all of the NXT UK will be merged into regular NXT, and then NXT Europe will be launched later, 6 months from now or whatever, as a whole new entity. So it'll be interesting to see how many NXT UK people are making the jump this Sunday at Worlds Collide. So
lots of streaming on Twitch this week. Man, boy, folks, you want a really good way to kick all that off. Imagine if Friday night there was a live Twitch stream of, I drive my happy big butt to Omaha or Lincoln, and I have a bra and panties match right there with Mr. Smarks himself. Whew, that'd be a lot of fun. A lot of fun, buddy.
That would be what it's like when worlds collide.
Oh, you're gonna go.
Oh, straight up.
Last one. We're gonna get it out of the way.
Let's get that out of the way.
There's obviously a lot of stuff to talk about. Last one. All right, we got a guy who may or may not still be with NXT, but Odyssey Jones.
I think he's technically still there.
We have one half of Index. Indy Hartwell.
Indy.
She's so pretty. I didn't mean it, Dex. Don't fucking come kill me. We have, I don't know, who the fuck is this? What a fucking terrible pose for Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
Part of his frog splash. There's way better ways to do that.
Straight up.
I have a feeling JLB will not be flying to Nebraska in a sexy ref shirt.
Yeah, that's. I wish that would be awesome. I'd do it. I'd love to. That'd be great.
That's a very good
prismatic
entrances.
Yes.
I'm still pissed. I can't find those at any store here in Omaha.
Apparently the collector card market has gone through the fucking roof.
I understand that, but again, when I was in Kearney, 3 hours west of here, a month ago, the Kearney Target had like 80 of them on the shelf. It was an entire shelf full of them. There's not a single one here in Omaha. I've checked at every Target. I've checked at every Walmart.
I'm just telling you that I have had coworkers get phone calls from other people saying, "Hey, will you check in that town and see if they have football cards or if they have basketball cards?" Like, it's not any particular thing that's in high demand. All cards are in high demand right now.
Yeah,
but God only knows why.
I've even gone into the local collectible cards store here and asked them, and no, they've got like 2019 WWE cards.
Snatch those up. Maybe those
and
the fun ones still.
And that's, well, they're all priced like $20 a pack because now they're collectors. But
they're only 3 years old. Well, I don't know what's happened that this market has done this with. Hey, everybody, hit us up in the DMs or in the chat. You can hit us up in the DMs if you're watching afterward at our individual links down at the bottom. Tell us if you're one of these crazy lunatic collectors that's making it impossible to find them. We don't mean lunatic in a bad way, but it is hard to find cards, so don't buy them in our towns.
Yeah.
Yeah. I finally went to Walmart, got all excited, and no cards.
Nothing in Montreal. That's crazy.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I did see the Cody Rhodes.
To be fair.
I did see the Cody Rhodes in like an hour and a half away from me, but still no cards. No.
I have this weird feeling that we are gaining additional viewers right now by somebody who's actually making fake accounts.
Yeah. I have a feeling that there's a reason
viewers actually
and
comment.
what's messed up is I can't even comment because you have to verify with a phone number, and obviously my phone number is used. Yeah, so it's like can't use same phone number, and I'm like, damn it!
Guess who turned that setting on? This guy.
Oh, you dick!
Right here.
Oh, turn it off for like an hour.
Nah. Nah.
Well, we appreciate that, Ambrosia. Thank you very much.
I wonder if it still counted as a follow, though.
It may or may not. I did get an email that I got a new follower from a very, like, I don't know, really hard to figure out who it is. Real Talk Radio Online. I don't know who
wonder who that could be.
Possibly.
No idea. But that bastard took my name, my podcast. I'm a sue. That's what I'm gonna do.
You do it.
You gotta press Harges. All right, so let's talk some pro wrestling. Are we excited for this week?
I am, although I'm going to start off with let's talk about an elephant in the room in the terms of AEW.
It's not an elephant. That was a horse.
Are you referring to John Moxley cutting John Cena's promo?
Not specifically that. I'm referring to John Moxley destroying CM Punk in under 3 minutes.
Yeah, that was crazy.
It's one of those, like, I'm not even sure how to feel about it. It's 5 days later, and I'm still like, is this? Am I upset about it or am I not? Like, it's tough because, like, there's a large part of me that's always, hey, let's give it time. Let's see how this is planned out. Obviously they've got a plan going, right? So let's let the plan go. All this stuff. But there's another part of me that's like, jeez, fucking have CM Punk of all people be destroyed in 3 minutes. And yeah, I get it. They played an injury angle for it.
Well, there is that. Yeah. Well, and I mean, the thing is, so I've heard a lot of rumors about that too, right? Oh, well, in Chicago, Moxley was supposed to win, but then Moxley was going to get booed the shit out of the place. So that's why they had switched it up and made Moxley win a week prior. But then, like, guys, you kind of already knew you were going to Chicago, like, I don't know, when you announced it, like 4 months ago. So that doesn't work. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know the
they can still
reason.
Do that. I mean, if they're
that's
they want.
My hope, or at least what I feel.
Is it because Moxley's hometown is there? He's from Cleveland, right?
Well, no, he's got connections to Cleveland, but he's listed as Cincinnati, and Vegas is his hometown. That's
Ohio. Yeah, I mean, he lives in Florida, so
he lives in Vegas.
In Vegas.
Really? He lives in Vegas?
Yeah, yeah, he lives in Vegas with Renee.
Yeah, that's a tough commute.
But
I mean, it's a plane.
What a plane commute.
Gotta find this. Sorry. I saw a link here. So my feeling is, my gut feeling is that they're telling a storyline. CM Punk's gonna come back at All Out. There's gonna be a rematch of sorts. And this may feature the full heel turn for CM Punk, cheat to win, all that stuff. There's also reports that they're telling, or not reports, speculation, I should say, that they're telling a storyline of that bad things happen with CM Punk in Cleveland, right? Cleveland's
Yeah.
where he lost a
Lost to
championship.
Cena.
Cleveland's where he got injured one time, something like that. You know, all of this stuff. And so the story that they are theoretically telling is that this is, I guess, speculation, but that they speculate they're telling is that bad things happened to him in Cleveland, and that he's going to come back at All Out, and he's going to try to, maybe win it back or whatever. There's also like a chance that maybe he's telling, or maybe they're leading to a MJF return, and that they didn't want CM Punk's
To be the guy that loses to MJF.
well, or more specifically, CM Punk's title reign to interrupt MJF's return. And so they wanted someone else to be the one that MJF beats for the title, not CM Punk. In fact, there's even some speculation that it was going to be CM Punk coming out as MJF's manager or in MJF's corner, and say, I'm calling for a rematch, but it's not going to be me. It's going to be this guy, and that this is going to lead to MJF. But there's a reason. I think this was a miscalculation by Tony Khan. I think he had good intentions for it. I think the goal is always to build up for the pay-per-view and everything. They even made a big deal about how the total average viewership for this episode of Dynamite was like 1,100 or something like that. 1.1 million, excuse me, is what I meant to say. 1.1 million, right? Above their thing. Right, but here's where I think the miscalculation is. If you look at the quarter-hour breakdown for this last week, right? So overall ratings was above 1 million total, right? But first quarter hour, live promo with Chris Jericho, Daniel Garcia, Bryan Danielson, all of that stuff, 1.01 million viewers. Right?
That was really meh.
I thought it was okay. I mean, it was leading up to something, but it was okay. It wasn't my favorite. I don't like this. I don't ever like the start off the show with the 20-minute long promo anyway.
Well, and
that's a WWE
that
thing.
I'll give him this, that it plays into Jericho's character. But you're really gonna get in the shouting match. You call yourself a sports entertainer. No, you call yourself a wrestler. What?
Well, but they didn't really do that. They just
call yourself a sports entertainer right now. Do it right now. You call yourself a sports
But anyways,
entertainer.
but my point is 1.01 million. So just over a million right there. Started off hot. Over 1 million viewers, right? The next quarter. Jay Lethal versus Dax Harwood went through picture-in-picture. Viewership dropped a little bit, right? To 1.04.
That match was really good.
It was a good match. Yeah, really good match, right? Dropped a little bit. The next one, after that match happened, when Dax Harwood was standing in the ring and Sanjay Dutt said, hey, we had the trios match scheduled for All Out, and it was going to be you guys and Wardlow versus Jay Lethal, but I didn't tell you who the rest of the trio was, because we always assumed it was going to be Satnam Singh and him. Nope. They announced it was going to be Motor City Machine Guns, baby. Yeah.
Yeah, I knew you'd get excited for that one. I was like,
so stoked. However, the quarter hour where that got announced dropped down again to almost 1 million even, right? That was also when Thunder Rosa announced that she's injured and not going to be able to defend. We'll talk about that, I'm sure, more. That's when Colton Gunn went against Billy Gunn. And then the post-match angle with the Acclaimed and Swerve in Our Glory and all that stuff.
Side note, my son actually asked me what scissor me means.
And I told you just tell him
snap.
it's all about rock paper scissors, right? It's that he's calling, hey, you need to throw scissors next. Scissor
no,
Just say it's a
no,
handshake.
because I don't want my kids saying that at school. I don't want them saying scissor me. No, it's about rock paper scissors. Just scissor me. Scissor me. No, no, I'm not doing that. I told him it's grown up and you don't do it.
It's intent. It's all about intent. Anyways, but so going on that was the lowest of that first hour, right? Going into the last one, the last match of, or the last segment of the first hour, right? You had Death Triangle and United Empire doing a promo. You had Kylan King versus Britt Baker with the post-match angle, Jamie Hayter, Tony Storm, Hikaru Shida, and then the Acclaimed and Swerve in Our Glory promo, right? It ticked back up, 1.04, right? Then we start the second hour with the Jon Moxley versus CM Punk match. We go up to almost 1.2 million, right?
Oh wow. Okay.
Obviously, people were wanting to see this match. 1.2 million people tuned in just to watch that, right? And then a 3-minute match, and Jon Moxley just destroys him, and it's over. Here's why I say this was a misstep. The next quarter hour, Ricky Starks did a live promo, Moxley did a promo, United Empire made their entrance, dropped to 1.03. Death Triangle and versus United Empire for the third quarter, right, dropped down to under 1 million. 987,000, right? And then the rest of the Death Triangle versus United Empire match, and then the post-match angle with Kenny Omega and Young Bucks, 993,000, right? So the drop,
it's only moving around by 25,000. That's not horrible.
What? They dropped like 200,000.
993, you said?
And from 1.2.
Oh, well, yeah, from the high point, but from the start of the show.
Yeah, from the start of the show, it's still a big drop there too, right?
I think that might have to do. So we've talked about this before. I think that initial drop might have something to do with the Superman landing finish, or the superhero landing finishers or sequences. Some of those run too long with Ospreay.
Yeah,
I love them, but sometimes they just run just a hair too long.
My point is, if you look at this on a graph, it is almost a straight line down from the CM Punk match, right? CM Punk versus, people tuned in for that, and then it killed the momentum of the show, and the show just went boom, 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 down from there.
And you don't think any piece of that has to do with that promo? Because that promo was garbage.
The Chris Jericho promo?
No, the My Time Is Now promo by Moxley.
I mean, that might have done it, but that was already after the fall started. The fall started as soon as the CM Punk Jon Moxley match was over, right?
Okay.
It started and it kept going. People tuned in too.
That sells CM Punk's promo that he cut on the prior Wednesday, though.
Before the quarter hour before it to the start of the Jon Moxley CM Punk match, right, saw over 150,000 people tune in to watch that match. And then they lost all of those and more by the end of the show. And even more than that, lost all of those and more by the end of the show, and had a 5-star match for the main event of the show. Sure. Death Triangle versus United Empire got 5 stars by Meltzer.
Can't blame him. That's a great match.
It was a great match. You lost more people going into that match. It went down to the lowest of the night for that match. The lowest ratings of the night, the lowest viewership of the night from that. And that thing is, the CM Punk, I understand putting it on first in the second hour, right? To try to, boom, pop it up there. But you got to do something to keep it up there. And I really think that finish just took the wind out of everyone's sail. People tuned in for that match. And then when they saw that, they're like, no, fuck it, I'm out. And they tuned it off.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that, though. Honestly, that finish, especially since you gave it so much hype, it wasn't just like that morning of. You gave it a week hype. Um, it's a bit of a WWE kind of let down finish. All the
No, they
hype,
wouldn't have
and
cut
then
that
it
match to 3 minutes. I hate saying this, but WWE would have given that match more respect than that, more than 3 minutes.
I think so.
I think WWE would have done fairly similar. The thing is, they would have given it a smosh finish. It wouldn't have been CM Punk got injured and everything. It would have been,
Rest stoppage because of the injury.
Well, or someone ran in and attacked John Moxley, because they wouldn't have had an actual finish to that match. It's what I expected, to be perfectly honest, that there wasn't going to be an actual finish to the match. That then it was going to be announced that the match was going to restart at All Out because we have to have a finish. We have to have a winner. And so we had a winner. I think if you go back to last week, was talking about it, none of us thought that it was going to end that way. We debated back and forth as to who. I thought if there was a winner, it was going to be CM Punk. But I thought it was gonna.
Right,
I thought it was gonna end in a no, like either a time limit draw, or some sort of shenanigans. Right. I did not see 3 minutes and out. But just booking it though, because here's the deal. Well, let's cut to the chase here. I'm 99.99% sure that it's a kayfabe injury for CM Punk, right?
Yeah, no bones were thrown.
They tried. Yeah, they didn't throw the X. There was another thing. The biggest thing that gave it away to me was, so after he had the injury, right? The ref's is checking on him. John Moxley goes over and pushes the ref out of the way, and picks up CM Punk and does the Death Rider on him, right? And then picks him up again and does the Death Rider again. And I don't think if he was legitimately injured, they would have done 2 Death Riders there. But even more than that, then John Moxley sits him down and holds his arm and starts doing the back of the arm, like, hit to the head thing. And then he reaches over and he grabs his foot and he does an ankle lock twist on it. And that's where I was like, I'm certain this is not a real injury. If he legitimately had an injury to his ankle, they would not have allowed John Moxley.
Protected his ankle.
Yeah, Moxley would have protected it. They wouldn't have allowed Moxley to have done an obvious injury move to him, you know? So it's a kayfabe injury. It was all booked, but I just think that this was a fairly large misstep on TK's part, booking it this way to have the viewership drop that much, right?
Look it this way.
Even more,
I promise the sky.
They lost over 50,000 viewers in the 18 to 49 viewership.
Right.
Coming off that match. That match popped up from 430,000 18 to 49s to 512,000 and then dropped down to 446,000. Right?
See, so it still pulled people in their prime demographic.
Yeah, so it pulled people in and then immediately had them turning it off again.
Well, I mean, except for like 10,000 of them. Or 7,000 of them. 7,000 of them. It was a poorly booked match. It definitely was. Again, I think the promo was the worst part. They're gonna tell a story here, but that fucking promo just made me sick. I was just like, "Oh my god!" And I don't know that he knew he was saying, that he was saying. I don't know that it was intentional that he was saying John Cena's song. My time is now, over and over and over and over again. May have been, might have been.
I wouldn't put it past him for doing that, considering, remember, after the show, I don't, maybe you don't know, but after the show he delivered a promo to the crowd where he thanked them for coming and watching this show instead of that crap they put on Monday and Friday nights. So later on in the show, he specifically referenced the other company.
Well, and I guess it would make sense that he would say that because at the end of the day, CM Punk said he's the second best John he's ever faced.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, but I just think this is such a misstep and maybe he'll prove us wrong, and he's got some master plan that I'm just not seeing right now. At the moment, I think it was a big misstep, and he's gonna.
Fernando actually has a booking for that. I don't know if that's what I would do.
Yeah. So here's why I disagree with Fernando on this. Stone Cold turning heel at WrestleMania against The Rock was the end of Stone Cold. That's
not what this was. That's not what this match was. The one he's referencing was the year before, when it was Stone Cold's career versus The Rock.
When Stone Cold turned heel, that was the start of the downfall for Stone Cold.
Yeah, that was another year later after what he's referencing.
His popularity started falling and falling and falling, right? And it kept falling until he was off. And we don't need that to happen to either CM Punk right now.
The heir apparent is that some people want us to
apparently JLB really wants to see us in bra and panties.
I am so pooped of creating fucking Twitch shit.
That says a lot more about you than I think you want it to say.
Jesus.
So,
hey, listen.
So the guy's a chubby chaser. Let him have it.
What's being JLB featured right now, okay, on Twitch as one of the top things is 2 girls, 1 pickle, and they're fighting in bikinis. They hit 1,000 viewers, guys. I'm sure we can do better. All right.
Oh no, listen. All I'm saying, JLB, is if you really wanted to see me in my skivvies, all you had to do was ask.
That's fair. That's fair point.
Just, you know.
Oh, I don't even have a bra on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, you know. Feet pics, however, cost extra.
Oh, there we go. That's how you get them.
As do human waste pictures. But you can get those for free at ratemypoo.com.
Hey.
I don't know if that's still a website or not.
I will check.
I have to assume it probably is.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I do know WikiFeet still exists, though.
Apparently that's a big deal. Like, I keep hearing about it from people. And I'm like, I don't want to fucking see feet of people I'm about to sleep with. Let alone.
I mean, what would it really change? Well, when do you honestly look at their freaking feet?
Fucking feet are gross, man. Feet are gross.
So, no, Rate My Poo. It depends, I guess, on how you spell poo. But ratemypoo.com is not a website.
I'm sure if you use your search engine for it, you might get a response.
Oh, Jesus.
Let's see.
My poo.
Who's the top person on WikiFeet right now?
Ambrosia, apparently. She got offered $1,000 for feet picture.
And you turned them down? Are you kidding me?
I would let, I guess I will sell my feet pics.
I guess her feet are pretty horrible.
Gross.
If someone offers me a few $100s, I'm sending them all the pics.
Someone offers me like $5. I'm good. Here, you want some feet? Where do you want it? For
I feel like you have Chewbacca toes, man. I feel like you have just coming off your toes.
Wow. I'll show you my foot later, okay? Gosh.
According to wikifeet.com, Jenna Ortega is their feet of the day, and Ali LaForce are their feet of the week.
Feet of the week.
Yeah. Although if you really would rather, right, you can see Leah Michelle's feet or Carla Gugino's feet because it's their birthday, you know, so they've got their galleries up. Apparently feet are an important thing for people. I don't get it myself, but you know, whatever. I wonder, can I just add my own feet to this? Just cut it off at the pass. You better believe I'm adding that to WikiFeed. If I can, I don't know how to add to WikiFeed yet. I'm going to figure it out. Anyways, so that was the big one I wanted to talk about because I just think that was such a misstep for Tony Khan. The show itself was really good. The Motor City Machine Guns announcement was great, although it would have been better if they'd been there in person to come out. Apparently for Rampage, they did at least film something with... Oh, no, it was for Dark. They filmed something with Chris Sabin there.
Oh, okay.
But I think that was at Dark that they film in Orlando, not at...
wherever the fuck they are.
Not at... wherever they were, Cleveland, where they were at for
Cleveland Rock
Dynamite. So, but it would have been nicer if they'd have been there, right? The Death Triangle versus United Empire match was fucking fire. Really good. It would have been nice if that would have ended just a little bit earlier, so the Kenny Omega versus Young Bucks versus United Empire feud could have been focused on a little bit more, because they just had this kind of stare down afterwards, and that was about it. But
did they? Or no, that's next week, huh? Kenny Omega's gonna fight again next week.
Yes, it's gonna be the semifinals for the trios tournament.
Well, that's
they are on the Rampage side of the bracket. No, they're on the
Dynamite. So it's gonna be Kenny Omega and Young Bucks versus United Empire.
Wonder if Kenny's still gonna be in that brace shirt. That makes me nervous that he's still wrestling in that.
Like I said, I said this last week. I think they're telling a story. I think with every week, one part of the protective gear is going to start coming off of Kenny Omega, and he's going to look better and better and better, right? I think they're telling the story of he's back from an injury, now he's got to get back in ring shape. And so they specifically had him look out of shape. He wore the compression shirt, he wore that shoulder brace for the beginning of it and took that off. They even had it where he had
the muscle tape on when he came out for the promo.
Well, yeah, but I was gonna say more specifically, they had him struggle with the one-winged angel, and all of that stuff. I think the storyline they're telling is that he's slowly going to get back into Kenny Omega form. They didn't want him to come back from injury and just instantly be, the cleaner.
Guys, remind me, who won the Fatal 4-Way match on SmackDown?
The Fatal 4-Way on SmackDown. For
the life of me, can't. Fabes, no, not ringing a bell.
No, Fabes no hay casa.
Oh man.
How about the new shirt though that you sent over?
Hey?
The Bloodline shirt?
But it's not legit though. I wish it was legit.
Oh, that's a fan produced?
Yeah, it's not like a legit shirt. I feel like Sami Zayn's going to be the only one who has that shirt, and he's going to be the only one wearing it. It just seems like right down Sami Zayn's alley to do that. You know what I mean? But that would be fucking cool if they did end up releasing it.
Yeah, he's right. Fernando's right. DeVille and Natalia. Yep.
DeVille and Natalia. Nice.
Yeah.
Well, because Natty deserves better.
That's what it is. There's speculation. Once he said that, I reminded me. There's speculation that might not have been the original planned finish, but that Nikki ASH suffered an injury in it.
Oh,
because if you watched it, there's the superplex from Dana Brooke to Nikki ASH, And then like instantly after that, Sonya Deville like slid in, and it was obvious that Nikki ASH couldn't like stand anymore. And
Damn.
Dana Brooke slid her into the ring to cut. Not Dana Brooke. Deville slid her into the ring and covered her to finish the match early. I'm watching it again right now just to.
But they were still supposed to win, no?
Well, I don't know. Because it was a superplex onto the group of people, and immediately when they landed, Nikki ASH grabbed her leg because she was the one who got superplexed onto the group of people. She grabbed her leg, and so there was speculation that maybe it was supposed to be Nikki and Dewdrop that won, but they knew that she wasn't going to be able to continue on, so they just ended it right there. So who knows? But
So, real quickly, because we did reach 35 tonight, I'm going to go ahead and show this. Somebody's feet.
yeah, no.
Oh my god!
No,
It's better if it's not here.
there's a way better way to do it. Give me a second here.
No, don't you dare!
Give me a second.
Show me your feet. It's going to end up on a podcast, bud.
Or is it?
Oh, he unsent it. Too bad I've already downloaded it.
Oh, Jesus. You downloaded it, you sick fuck.
It doesn't matter whether he unsent it. I already had it up on my screen, so I can already screen share it.
Oh, you bastard.
Right there.
Hey. Sexiest foot in the game.
Hey, bud, you need to drink more
moving
water.
on.
You got that little line there going on from your sock.
Yeah.
No, I know. Well, that's just because I feel like my socks.
You need to drink more water. You just
I don't.
need to drink
Is
more
that what that
water.
is? No, that's not a
Yeah.
thing.
Yes.
Why would that be a
Water.
thing?
Well, you notice your scar tissue over here that's also pushing back, and then those two things tell me that you're retaining some water.
All right.
Speaking of somebody who has that problem, fuck off. Listen to me. You need to drink more water.
That's fair.
I'm trying to
I'll
help
drink
you.
more
So
water.
when you're my age, you don't have that issue.
No, fair enough. I do duly noted. Duly noted. I just thought it was a hell 10 thing because I always wear fucking socks. And my feet
No,
never
you
see
need
the
to
sun.
drink more water.
Duly noted.
Maybe
There you go.
Get yourself some compression socks. You're in your 30s now. You need to grow the fuck up. Take care of your body.
That's fair. That's a fair point. Currently,
Anyways.
Amazoning decompression socks.
This is no, not
Not
decompression.
decompression socks.
Compression socks. And don't get those
Compression
shitty fucking diabetic ones that are loose because people swell too much. No, those don't help you. You need like athletic compression socks. They'll push the water out of your legs.
Ooh. Okay.
Because I know you probably don't have an adjustable bed like my old ass does.
I
Smarks
definitely
likes
do
it.
not.
Smarks likes
Smarks
it.
likes it.
I don't really like it that much. It's really hard to get in to get Hey, SmackDown also had Baron Corbin lose to Ricochet. So
I
Yeah,
hope to
baby.
God they're telling a story that the only person that Baron Corbin can beat is Roman Reigns. God, I hope that's the story they're telling. They need to quit burying his ass. He's the new Dolph Ziggler, man. Oh, fuck.
Sheamus, of course, is gonna go on to Clash at the Castle to face
Against
off with
Gunther.
Gunther.
I love the Gunther's like I'm gonna strip the flesh from your chest with my yeah. chops.
Here's the deal. It's in the end, Natalia and Sonya Deville didn't matter who won the second chance because they then immediately went on to face Rochelle Rodriguez and Aaliyah. Raquel Rodriguez, yeah. And Aaliyah, and lost to them already. So Raquel Rodriguez and Aaliyah go on to the next step on that.
Are compression socks usually just high all the time? Like I
Yes.
feel like these are.
Yes.
Yeah, they go all the way up to your knees.
And I can't roll them down.
If you do, you're gonna have the same
point.
fucking problem.
That's valid. Okay. All right. Fair enough.
But
You know what? I wish I could find some Topps Finest still.
yeah, those were. I got to be honest. I think I liked the Topps Finest more than the
Panini.
prismatic ones.
Yeah.
I think just as a whole. Anyways, where do we see the Sammy and the Bloodline angle going?
Sammy's eventually gonna turn on them at some point when he gets a title shot or something.
He's either gonna turn on them or they're gonna turn on him after he fails them in some way, right? So, like, right now, he's their golden boy because he's the one who comes out and keeps helping them, right? But then he's going to fail them in some way. He's either going to lose to someone that then puts Roman in a bad position, or he's going to come out and he's going to try to help them, and he's going to cost them a match. It could be even as simple as I think they're going to probably try to stretch it out longer than this, but it could be as simple as this week at Clash at the Castle. He comes out to try to help Roman beat Drew, and somehow or another costs Roman the match, and Drew ends up with the championship.
Championships still,
Ships.
unfortunately.
Yeah. And then at that point, they'll turn on him because he failed them.
Yeah, I have a feeling that there's more with the Karrion Kross piece coming here. So I don't think the Sami Zayn part's going to come into play.
No, I don't think it's going to come into play just yet, but
it might be that he stops Karrion Kross from coming out and destroying Drew, because he thinks that Karrion Kross is going to destroy Roman. I don't know.
But otherwise, what was the other things I wanted to talk about this week?
Well, I mean, I guess just because I'm a gamer dude, FTR is not going to be in the AEW Fight Forever game, at least right now.
Yeah.
Which has a lot of people wondering, like, why, since they've been there since like May of 2020. What gives, THQ? What gives?
So I don't think it's a THQ thing. I gotta be honest. I think it's an AEW thing. But I also think people are reading into it way more than they need to. They announced that there's going to be a roster of 50 people in the initial roster that you can choose from, and that potentially there will be downloadable
DLC and all that. Yeah.
DLC afterwards, right? Right now, I think at last count, the AEW roster was like 133.
Okay.
So FTR is by far not the only people who didn't make the cut, right? There's 80 other people that didn't make the cut.
Right.
FTR is maybe the highest profile of the ones that didn't make the cut, but they're by far not the only. And so here's the thing. Part of what making the cut on the roster is you get a big roster bonus for being on. Like, that's extra money coming to you. Right, for being in the thing. And I think, frankly, Tony Khan was like, listen, I invested in this video game almost 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago. I put in a bunch of money into this video game, right? And I need money coming back from this video game before I can start paying out more people. So he had to put a limit of 50 to start off, so that when the game starts selling, he can start seeing money come back, and then he can start saying, okay, here's the thing. Let's do some breakdowns. Let's do some DLCs on it, right? Yes, they've been in AEW for a long time now, and by all means should be in there. And reportedly, they made it to scanning phase. Like they got scanned for their models, right? But again, 80 other people on the roster that didn't make the cut as well. And so I think it was just like Tony Khan was like, before I start putting a lot of these people on, let's do this, right? And so you kind of think here, like, who do you not put in, right? Well, there's some easy ones. Like, I'm not gonna put Aaron Solo in. I'm not gonna probably put Angelico in. But I'm gonna put Adam Cole. Right. I'm gonna put Andrade probably. He's a big enough name. I'm gonna put the rest of the Undisputed Elite, Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly in. I'm definitely gonna put Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, right? I'm gonna probably put Bryan Danielson in there.
Hangman, CM Punk.
You know, there were up to 10 already, just in the men, right? You know, you probably are going to have Wardlow in there. I mean, you got to look at these ones that are current champions. You're probably going to have to put in there, right? Swerve Strickland and Keith Lee, current champions, might be a big thing to do. Samoa Joe, you're going to want to put in there. Think of the people who are their biggest stars as a whole, right? Sammy Guevara is probably going to be in there. There's a good chance that almost all of the Dark Order made it in there. The current Dark Order, which would be Evil Uno, Alex Reynolds, John Silver, and Preston Vance, right? Because the Dark Order are still good merch movers. And that's a thing you got to think about is merch movers. Penta and Ray Phoenix, probably in there. Big merch movers, right? Orange Cassidy's definitely in there. Big merch mover. MJF's probably in there. You know, I mean, we're up to about 20 now, right? We're almost to half of the entire roster in just the men.
Fair, yeah.
Right? And we're already having to make, like, do you put Malachi Black in? I think you would, but then you've got to put most of the rest of the House of Black in, right? Which is Buddy Matthews and
who saw that coming? Rampage, House of Black losing. I didn't see that coming at all.
I kind of did. For the trios tournament, they're not established as a trio. They're established as a faction, but they're established individually, not as a group. You know what I mean?
Boy, I didn't see that coming.
Who did they lose to?
Best friends.
Oh.
The best friend. But it was what was it? There was something with it that. Give me a second, because
Murphy got interrupted by some member. I don't remember who it was.
Some member I don't remember.
Miro, right?
That's what it was.
Yes.
Oh, and it was the Dark Order.
It's also telling a story too, though.
It was the Dark Order, not Best Friends.
Wow.
Oh, Dark Order.
Yeah. So Alex Reynolds, John Silver, and
I still
10.
didn't see Dark Order winning it either.
No,
I kind of figured Dark Order was going to go a long ways in the trios tournament because of the whole Hangman Page involvement. I'm going to be in your corner. I'm not going to be in it, but I'm going to be in your corner. And 4 is the best trio storyline that they were doing. So I kind of figured that they're going to go. In fact, what I kind of anticipate, and we'll see if this is true, right? But they were kind of playing it off that they were going to do Freebird's rule with the Dark Order. So it was whatever 4 or whatever 3 members of the Dark Order
They choose.
wanted to compete in that match. Like this one, they announced at the beginning it was going to be Alex Reynolds, John Silver, and a mystery partner, and then it was Preston Vance, number 10. And I think what's probably going to happen is the big twist that's going to be is that Dark Order are going to be like, oh, we only have 2 people who can be in this match because Evil Uno's not here and Preston's not here or whatever, and now we're in the finals or whatever, right? And that Hangman's going to be, okay, I'll join you for this one match.
Against Kenny and the Young Bucks.
Yep, exactly. Fernando, you just got to it right as I was about to say. Hangman's going to fill in for an injured member, and we'll see Hangman go against the Elite. Right? Exactly. So
tells the story.
Definitely does, yeah.
And again, like I said, they have not established the House of Black as a trio. They've established them each individually as a force. But as a trio, they don't. It's kind of the inverse of the storyline that you talked about. The team that is unstoppable as a team, but individually flawed. This is the opposite. The team that are almost unstoppable by themselves, but when they team up, they get in each other's road.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You know, they're not a team. They gave Ryan Nemeth a shot on Rampage.
That was a beatdown. So we got to watch CM Punk versus Jon Moxley again, only different characters.
Yeah, the difference is this was supposed to be a beatdown. It's supposed to be Wardlow destroying someone. I have to say, I unironically love Ryan Nemeth, and more specifically, I unironically love him because he shows up on Being the Elite as Hollywood hunk Ryan Nemeth. And his whole gimmick is like it's him at like movie premieres, but he's not there for himself. It's his girlfriend who is legitimately an actress who's been in movies recently. And so she's at the red carpet and he's just there like holding her purse and stuff like that.
Nice.
But like then going up to people and being like, yeah, so you watch Rampage? We've got All Out coming up soon. Yeah, no, I don't think I'm gonna be in the game at the start, but I'll probably be downloadable content sometime, you know, things like that. He cracks me up. Sammy Guevara and Ty Mello versus Ortiz and Ruby Soho. So this opens us up to talking about Sammy Guevara this week.
Sammy Guevara.
Oh, yes, that whole shindig, too, right?
And more specifically, Eddie Kingston in regards to Sammy Guevara. So the news reported this week that Eddie Kingston recently got done serving a suspension because he got into it with Sammy Guevara backstage. An altercation with Sammy Guevara. More has come out since then, and this is Eddie Kingston being the most Eddie Kingston can Eddie Kingston. You know what I mean? So we had seen the start of this feud starting a month ago. Eddie Kingston made fun of Sammy Guevara. Sammy Guevara cut a promo on Eddie Kingston. And it went back and forth. Well, apparently a few weeks ago, Sammy Guevara cut a promo on Eddie Kingston. And he called Eddie Kingston something like a fat piece of shit. Eddie Kingston took legitimately offense to Sammy Guevara calling him a fat piece of shit for a couple reasons, reportedly. A, nobody likes being called a fat piece of shit. I get
facts,
right?
Especially when you are one.
Especially when you are one. But
I
more
know
than
from
that,
experience.
More than that, heck, I didn't even like being called a fat Conan O'Brien, and that's not even a piece of shit. It's Conan fucking O'Brien, but still,
it's a piece of cocoa.
Anyways, but the biggest thing is Eddie Kingston apparently took offense with the idea. He said, "Listen, if you denigrate me too much, then people aren't going to follow the match where you end up winning, right? How does it build you up if you beat a fat piece of shit? You know what I mean?" You're supposed to go over in this match, apparently. And this buried the match. And so he popped Sammy in the jaw. And then there was a pull apart and all of this stuff. And then Eddie Kingston got suspended for a few weeks and had to take some anger management courses or shit like that. And the promo never aired, at least. Here's, again, this is Eddie Kingston working himself because it was a pre-taped promo. If he didn't like something Sammy Guevara said during the promo, it could get edited out. They can change that promo. They could re-record it later, right?
Right.
More than that, and Sammy Guevara has issued a statement on it. He said, when doing these promos, it's considered customary for you to provide your opponent a list of the things that you don't want them to touch on, right?
Right.
For instance, and he didn't say this, but it's something that was pointed out. For instance, in Sammy Guevara's case, his ex-girlfriend is on the list of things, please don't touch on this, right? In Connection, Christian Cage in his promo against Jungle Boy. I guarantee you he cleared with Jungle Boy before he said something about
His
Jungle
dad,
Boy's
whatever.
dead dad,
Yeah.
right? It's considered good form to clear it first, right? But even more than that, it's considered good form for you to tell the person, hey, these are the things that I don't want you to say about me. And Sammy said, I told Eddie Kingston the things I didn't want him to touch on, and he didn't tell me anything. So I thought I had free reign. If he would have just told me, listen, don't go after my appearance, I wouldn't have done it, right? But I did, and then he popped me, Eddie Kingston has been clear this entire week. Every time someone's brought it up to him, he's been clear. He says, listen, I acted unprofessionally. I did things wrong. This isn't Sammy doing something wrong. This was me doing something wrong. And so leave Sammy alone. And just I did the wrong
Move
thing
on.
here.
Yeah.
But so anyways. So this is Eddie Kingston working himself into a tizzy over nothing.
Right.
But it's sad because to get to Fernando's question, should TK still book Sammy versus Kingston? I think no now. And to be perfectly honest, I think no for a couple reasons. A, I think the finish of the match has been blown. So now either you change it and it's predictable because you changed it, or you do the finish that you planned to do and it's predictable because you did the finish that we were told you were going to do. Either way, it doesn't feel real, right?
I'm still surprised they didn't work off the heat, though. I would have still did the match, work off that heat, keep blowing it up on social media, tell both guys, like, hey, listen, y'all both messed up, y'all made amends, but trash each other on social media. Let's make this work. Let's make this shoot into a work, because clearly that's what AEW likes doing. And so I think it would have been a good showcasing of maybe certain people to be showing up. Oh, I want to see if Eddie Kingston really does something bad to Sammy Guevara, blah, 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 in the ring and or whatever, So I think in AEW fashion, they like doing that, putting shoots into a work, and they could have easily have done this with this match as well. I do also commend them because I feel like it's going to be another 5-hour pay-per-view though, and cutting a match is awesome.
I think the important thing you need to remember is you say that they love doing this. You have to know how many times you can go to a well, right? If you go to a well too many times with this is a shoot match, you take the power away from the this is a shoot match. You know what I mean? what makes the MJF situation feel so real is because we know it was real. We know that it still is real in some form. And eventually, we're going to get a payoff in some form, right? But if you keep doing it, it lessens them each time you do it. Every single time you do it, it gets less and less and less, right? And here's the important thing. They've got the MJF thing waiting to be done. If they cheapen it now, when the MJF thing goes off, it's cheapened, right? So if they're playing the long con with the MJF thing, then they're not going to do anything else or not going to do as many of the shoot things because they don't want to cheapen the MJF pop. You know what I mean?
Okay, I can see that, but
Because if you go to here's the deal. We talked a little bit earlier this week about Vince Russo, and Vince Russo's biggest problem when he was running WCW was he went to the "this is a shoot" well too often. Every fucking week, it was another shoot.
right.
This is a shoot. This is a shoot. This is really happening. This is really.
I would
Hulk
say
Hogan.
it did not work for Matt versus Edge. I would say it popped some ratings, but it really fucked up some people, man.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, I didn't really think about how far it is Monday from today. Johnny Gargano's back. We didn't talk about that on
We didn't really get a chance to. No.
WBU. So
Yeah, we mentioned it on the FBI.
We mentioned it on Tuesday.
yes, Tuesday, but our news show is Sundays.
Yeah,
That's fair.
So Johnny Wrestling. So again, like I said on Tuesday, I was right that he was coming back this week. I was just wrong about the day and the
Where?
location.
I love that they're doing this theory angle. Sounds like as of today that theory has a first name again. That was sent to me by some jackass. I knew
Yeah. Well, here's the deal. I will take it with a grain of salt until we see it on TV. I'm not saying that I don't believe it. But
Well, I mean,
Pete
Dunne.
news.
Pete Dunne as well, right? SmackDown is already taped. He came out with his old gear.
Yeah.
We'll see
But he
that on
still
SmackDown
but he
next week.
still came out announced as Butch.
Right.
But no, the reason I'm with the theory I'm taking a grain of salt is because the report is based almost entirely on the fact that local advertisements for a show are saying Austin Theory instead of just Theory.
And I want to remind you that we have a shirt on our shop.spreadshirt.com because
A local
bookie-
show advertised Seth Franklin Rollins. Exactly my point. That local shows often don't know what the fuck they're saying, right? First of all, local
we got our
shows.
ass chewed by by one of the security guards for having Seth Franklin Rollins because we didn't know who the fuck his name was. I was like, "You don't follow wrestling, do you?" He was like, "It's Seth freaking Rollins."
Yeah, but that's the deal.
Not this week. It's not.
Yeah. In the end, local shows get sent copy like 6 months to a year in advance. Like when they book the show, they get sent a thing. These are the people we expect to appear. And a year ago, he was Austin Theory.
Really? A year ago? Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah, bud. Yeah. Hell, Vince McMahon didn't even know he paid him a year ago. On the Vince McMahon front, no selling of stock has occurred, no mass sale of stock. So,
But we did see Vince McMahon appear in New York for his birthday, and John Cena was there, and he was with his little side chick.
I feel like
Not
they
John
are going
Cena.
to
John
wait
Cena was with his wife. Vince was
on
with
Johnny
his
Wrestling versus Ciampa feuding on the main roster. In fact, I feel like maybe we'll get DIY first. I think maybe we'll be reintroduced to DIY again.
Well, no,
Yeah.
but Gargano hit him, so I think we're gonna see.
No, not Johnny Wrestling. Or not, yeah.
Not Austin Theory. We're talking about,
Not
but
Austin Theory.
we might have. I think that was just to pop the crowd. Theory's got his own feud, that's going on. I think. I gotta be honest. I think they probably Johnny Gargano is gonna fill a spot for a short period of time that they unfortunately couldn't finish the storyline with due to injury, and that's the Cody Rhodes spot for a bit. He's going to play the ultimate babyface who goes off and starts challenging for the top things here. So now and that's where that's going to go. Do I see potentially a return of DIY? Maybe.
I think that's the smart move.
Yeah, I think
really
getting
allow us
Ciampa
to-
away from the Miz. This isn't anything against the Miz. I think Ciampa's character doesn't fit the Miz.
Correct. I think both of them are doing the best with a not well written situation. And I shouldn't say both of them. I think all three of them, including Trips, are doing the best with a not well written situation. Do you think it's cereal, or do you think he's eating chips?
I'm gonna say chips.
I'm not eating anything yet.
Well, then your beard must be rubbing against your microphone or something. Because
Oh, my bad.
I don't really feel like you feel that way. I think that you're like, fuck you, and I don't care if you can hear my beard on my microphone.
That isn't
Anyways.
me.
that was me trying to mimic your sound. I just it hurts my soul to see Ciampa come out in neon green.
It really does. It's a really weird color.
It does not work. He's the only color
him.
that Ciampa should have is Goldie around his waist. He's the Blackheart.
You're not giving him the DIY era, then either, are you?
He might go to DIY era, but DIY he didn't wear neon green.
No.
I would like to see that, but I think they're on two different tracks. I really think Johnny Gargano's on track to the top. Like, he's going to be one of their main eventers for a while. And I don't see them doing that right now with Ciampa. The angle they have him going, I don't see that at.
That's because his contract didn't expire.
Yeah. He didn't have the ability to literally write his ticket back. Reports have it, however, that AEW did not try very hard at all to sign Johnny Wrestling, and I think that's a crying shame. I'm going to stand behind Tony Khan with the shame bell from...
Well, there was that thing that Tony Khan did send to Stefan Khan about, hey, leave our wrestlers alone. We know you're talking to them. So maybe, Khan, obviously he wasn't under contract, Gargano, anymore. And obviously Khan could have talked to him, but maybe he does feel a certain way of like, well, he's a father, taking care of his kid. Trips is back in power. I know him and Trips are really good friends. I don't think there's a point in even trying to offer him anything.
I don't think that's a thought at all. I think if anything, the thought was AEW, Tony Khan saying we've got 133 people on our roster. So if I'm gonna sign Johnny Wrestling, who do I cut? And I don't want to cut anyone.
Or
right.
I have to offer this category of income.
Yeah. The simple fact is,
Thank you, Humble 96.
Yeah.
Humble
He's-
9_6.
he's
Yep.
like, I could cut Sunny Kiss, but that wouldn't clear up enough money. I could cut Tony Nese. That's not going to clear up a ton of money. I could cut Peter Avalon. That's not going to clear up enough money. For me to get enough money to sign, maybe I felt like he needed way more. But even more than that, even without cutting people, even if it's not even about the dollars, right? It's still about, I've got 133 people on my roster, and I've got 3 hours of actual television time a week. Not counting AEW Dark, 3 hours of actual television time.
Yeah.
And so maybe he just felt that he was too stuffed right now to feature Johnny Wrestling. I personally think that's that's why I said I'm going to be behind him with the shame bell from Game of Thrones, because I think that's a dumb move. Especially considering as soon as you relaunch Ring of Honor officially, you're going to lose Wheeler Yuta, you're going to lose Samoa Joe, you're going to lose probably Claudio. Unless you take those Ring of Honor belts off of them. FTR is currently Ring of Honor champions, right? So are you moving them over to Ring of Honor, or are you taking the belts off of them? You've got a ton of people who are probably going to be moving to Ring of Honor. Johnny Wrestling would have filled that void really well, but he obviously decided that to them at this moment, it wasn't worth it for them to go after him hard, and that's a shame. To what JLB was talking about, he did. There was an all hands on deck meeting this week where Tony Khan talked to all of the wrestlers from AEW. He went through the new protocols that they have for conflicts and talent relations, the new people in charge in talent relations, and the new procedures to go through. And then also mentioned that the basically number 2 in charge in AEW, who's their legal counsel also.
It looks like you guys are going to have a brown panties match. Get
People
your thongs ready, boys.
People working hard to fraud us into this.
You're gonna report your own podcast to Twitch. There's fake followers.
This is fraud too. This is fraud. These are fake followers. We bought our own.
So you're saying you don't want us to give you money then? Because
I didn't say that. I'm
It is
just
a
saying
monetization
this is
jump, bud.
fraud. This is fraud. This is fraud. It's fraud.
Fake news.
In fairness, as of right now, my follower listing is not showing. It's still saying at 30, so we'll see if they end up counting. See, Ambrosia's at least sending real followers. Anyways, but he sent a letter. Apparently, their legal counsel, their number 2, sent a letter to WWE saying, "Hey, quit contacting our under contract wrestlers. That's contract tampering, and we will
take action.
Take action with it, because there has been reports."
But do we know
WWE
who they tried to contact?
Not specifically. The reports have said the wrestler wanted to remain anonymous because they didn't, let's be honest, they didn't want to burn bridges, right? If things fall apart with AEW, they still want to have a good relationship with WWE, that they can go back to that, right? But at the same point, they wanted their current people that they are happy working with to know, hey, just so you know, I've been contacted by the opposition. I'm not going. So if you hear reports that I've been contacted by them, I'm not going, you know?
Anybody else feel like this has got to be Adam Cole?
Adam Cole is probably a top one, although Tony Khan weeks ago mentioned he's got Adam Cole on a 5-year contract. So the only way Adam Cole's getting out is if Tony Khan cuts him, basically. Miro is another big potential.
Keith Lee would be, but I don't think he'll go back.
Yeah, Keith Lee's another potential. And the thing with both Miro and Keith Lee, I could totally see it being.
Hey man, we got a world title waiting for you.
Yeah, well, or more specifically, I could see those being, hey man, I want to know what your contract situation is. Oh, I signed a 3-year deal. Okay, cool, and that's it. You know,
and that is not illegal to do.
No, it's not illegal to ask what your contract situation is. It gets illegal when you say, well, if you ever get out of that contract, we've got an option for you.
Or we'll pay your fees to get out of that contract.
Mm-hmm. But people I just think would have been likely contacted. Claudio Cesaro would have been someone. If I were Trips back in charge of now in charge of WWE, Claudio would have been someone I would have really wanted. Like you said, Adam Cole is
I don't even know that it was Trips.
Well,
Wisdom would merit it's probably not.
Well, here's the deal. Trips is head, with talent relations. That's his job, is talent relations. So now, do I think he personally did it? Probably not, because he's got interns.
Other than with Adam Cole.
But did he direct people? Hey, contact this person. Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. The reason it falls on Trips, though, is these are people who worked pretty exclusively with Trips before.
Yeah.
Right.
Do I think potentially someone like Brian Cage got contacted? Possibly. You know?
That's an interesting
FTR very easily could have been contacted. They were people that Trips had a lot of faith in NXT, and then when they went up to the main roster, they got absolutely wasted. And Trips could be contacting them. Trips could be contacting them saying, "This time around, I swear it's going to be different." Trying to think of some other ones that were probably contacted.
Maybe even
Possibly
Dustin
the
Rhodes.
I can't say
don't think
no
Dustin's
to it, but I doubt it. He came out very publicly after Cody went back and said, "Don't even bother asking me. I love it here."
He's the more emotional of the Rhodes.
Well, the other side of it is he understands where he is in his career.
Yes.
Right.
WWE's not going to come to him and say, "Hey, come back here. You're going to have a world title reign." He knows that he's past that point for WWE.
Apparently, he's also past that point for ROH.
But
That was a fun match, though.
I think he understands in his position in AEW is secure as I'm helping the next generation. To answer Fernando's question, do we see Jericho going back to WWE when his contract expires? Never say never. Chris Jericho has jumped around before.
Yeah, people we can tell you won't go back. Moxley, CM Punk, those two are definitely out.
Yeah. I don't ever see like the Young Bucks or Kenny Omega going to WWE at all.
But you didn't feel that way about Cody Rhodes either.
I didn't think he would go back, but
I'm still shocked that he went back.
as soon as his contract was expired, I was like, I could see him going back. But I just don't see. But with Jericho, again, he left WWE before and then came back. You know?
Yeah.
If the thing with Jericho is I don't necessarily see Triple H wanting to bring him back full time. Right? When his when his AEW contract expires, Triple H will probably offer him a Legends deal. Make a couple appearances a year. Enjoy your retirement for the most part. That's it. But again, with Jericho, I say never. I think if WCW had survived another 5 years, I could have seen Jericho going back to WCW. You know what I mean? He's not a person who likes to burn bridges and say never on things.
Right.
So, a person I 100% think WWE contacted, and very easily could have been the person that prompted the letter being sent. One Maxwell Jacob Friedman.
Oh yeah.
Especially if they think his contract is out.
Or that they haven't. No one's heard anything.
Yeah.
So
The thing is we know his contract isn't up because he's signed through 2024. But
was there a
his
deal
last
to negotiate out of his contract?
Well,
or
and
whatever?
his last promo was, Tony Khan, I want you to fire me. And so they could have reached out to him saying, were you fired? Are you sitting out a no compete right now? Inquiring minds want to know.
Right.
Now let's talk about it more from the other standpoint, right? Not who do we think WWE has contacted, but if I were WWE off this AEW roster, who would I most want? Who am I contacting? Right? Now, Wardlow would be high on my list.
Wardlow would be really high on my list.
Yeah, he'd be really high on my list of someone I can bring this guy in, I can make him a superstar. Sammy Guevara would be fairly high on my list.
Oh yeah.
Ricky Starks.
Maybe
Jungle
6
Boy.
months ago I wouldn't have said that, but hot
Jungle
diggity
Boy has a
damn.
built-in sale, and so does Luchasaurus. I think Jungle Boy is an easy, that's money right there. WWE is really good at promoting the already semi-famous or family-famous person.
Yeah. I would also think Hangman Page. If
Possibly Paige.
I don't think that will be the case. I think Triple H sees that as a
Yeah. For Fernando's question here, Triple H understands business is business, and smashing the throne was Cody Rhodes trying to drum excitement over this new company.
new product.
If
When-
anything,
when-
I think
when
he
you're a new
respects it. It's
Yeah.
just like Trips when he did the whole DX thing, going to WCW with the tank. You know what I mean? Trips knows he's
tank?
done shit like that.
We got to use the air quotes around that word tank there, boy.
He was a tank.
It was a Jeep with a fucking fake cannon put on it.
Fine.
Anyways.
Way to ruin my childhood.
Yes, that was what did it, not your uncle.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
If
I'm sorry to your uncle if he watches this podcast.
Yeah. If I was WWE, I would be heavily looking at the Daniel Garcia.
Yeah.
That he would be someone I would be heavily interested in. I would be interested in Ethan Page potentially.
I feel like they already have an Ethan Page.
I feel like Ethan Page hasn't been given enough shot to shine in AEW, and that's why.
Yeah, I just feel like LA Knight and Ethan Page are,
no, they're
in my
they're
opinion, kind of photocopies of each other.
Heck,
No.
maybe even Private
No.
Party, man. You know what I mean?
private
Tag
party
division?
potentially, yeah. I think
Johnny
trying
Hungy, I would
Yeah.
try to get Johnny Hungee.
Johnny
I would
Hungee
definitely
would be
try
high
to
up
get
there.
Johnny Hungee.
That is a guy who has not been. I mean, he's been booked great and built something out of nothing. But oh boy, I think they'd be great with him.
Heck, maybe even Nyla Rose.
Possibly, yeah. I was just looking at the men right now, but you go down to the women, right?
Britt.
I think Thunder
No,
Rosa
they
would
wouldn't
be
even try
someone.
Britt. They wouldn't even try Britt.
If they were able to get Ethan Page back, I think they'd try Britt. I think Thunder
You mean
Rosa
Adam
would be
Page?
someone.
Adam
Page,
Cole, you
excuse
mean?
me. Adam
Adam
Cole.
Cole.
Yeah. See, too many pages and Coles and Adams. And everything. I think Thunder Rosa would be someone they'd try to get in the women's division.
Jade.
Yeah.
Fucking
Jade Cargill would be high on their list. She
Yeah.
might. Well, here's the. They already tried to get Jade Cargill. They tried to get her to NXT before she signed with AEW.
And they had a creepy speech. You have to commit yourself to us.
Well, it said,
Family
we're your
doesn't
family
exist.
now. We're your family
Come
now.
to us.
She was
one
like, well,
of
are you
us."
gonna? Are you gonna?
Jesus
What am I
Christ,
gonna
this
do
is
with my
annoying.
family while I'm there? And we're your family now. And she's like, nope. My family's my family. I've got the thing with Jade Cargill though, and we mentioned this on the show before. Jade Cargill fucking doesn't need wrestling.
Nope.
She's got the dollar bills, right? She wrestles because she wants to, not because she needs to. And so you can't take advantage of that. I need money to get her to sign a contract, right?
Right.
Okay, so Fernando thinks that Ethan Page would be a great signing, and I agree with him. I think Da Fabe's opinion on Ethan Page is wrong.
It's wrong. That's what
Because
it's wrong.
because Ethan Page has absolutely nothing, is nowhere similar to L.A. Knight or Max Dupree or Eli Drake.
That's your thoughts. That's your wrong thoughts. I apologize.
They literally wrestled against each other in Impact. I've seen them in the ring at the same time. They've got very different characters. Anyways, Ethan Page would be great, but also his other one. Oh, what about Orange Cassidy? Orange Cassidy does not fit in WWE. As far
No,
as
he
I know.
doesn't. Neither does Darby.
Neither does Darby. Yeah, Darby's another one that
They might
try to take him.
You ready for this one?
Maybe
They might have
Sting.
called Sting.
Yeah.
Possibly. The thing is, if they go after Darby or Orange Cassidy, it's not because they have plans to use them well in WWE.
Because they
It's
wanna
because
fuck
they're
over
trying to
AEW.
hurt AEW, right? I could see WWE contacting Ruby, trying to get her
Again.
back.
Yep.
Same thing with Athena. I could see them trying to get her back. These are both people who had good runs in NXT in some ways, and then kind of got wasted on the main roster. I could see them being interested in Chris Statlander, although maybe a little hesitant with her second knee injury now.
Didn't she
Jade
get a
would
lot
be
of
the-
injuries when she was in NXT as well, though?
Chris
Was it
Statlander
Chris
was never in
Statlander with
NXT.
her?
No,
No, who am I thinking of?
the one who had lots of injuries in NXT was Tegan Knox, who
Tegan-
is currently not wrestling anywhere because she doesn't
needs
have
a
a
green
green
card.
card.
Right.
Yeah. She's got an open invite for sponsorship, though.
I
For
should make a
green card.
T-shirt that says, Nixon, you want a green card?
Mary Fabe.
Tegan, will you marry Fabe?
Green cards included.
And then in small print, not actually included.
Well,
I think we touched on this. I think NXT or WWE would love to get Britt Baker. I think Britt Baker doesn't go unless Adam Cole also goes. And Adam Cole is, as we already mentioned, locked down for at least another 3 years. And the only way he gets out is if Tony Khan releases him in some way. And I don't think that's happening anytime soon.
No.
No.
That dude's got world title written on him.
Mm-hmm. He's got the rocket strapped to him. And the thing is, he's got the feuds built in. I mean, now that
bless
we've
you,
got
fuckers.
God bless you, my child.
Thank you. Thank you.
May
I acknowledge that you sneezed.
Acknowledge the sneeze.
Acknowledge the sneeze.
Fucking now that Kenny Omega's back, we're going to have the elite versus the undisputed elite. Right? That's going to happen here in the near future. There's no way Adam Cole's leaving. He's got a rocket strapped to his back. And
with a Kenny Omega feud.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Britt Baker, I think I gotta be honest, I honestly feel like she's on her way back to being champion in the near future. Right?
Perhaps.
I hope so, man, because her without the title sucks.
I think she does just fine without the title. But I think what's gonna happen, my prediction, Toni Storm's gonna win at All Out. She's gonna be the new champion, but now they need some challengers for her, and Britt Baker is a perfect challenge for Toni Storm. Now that you can't do Thunder Rosa for a while.
So, side note, also some backstage drama. Let's talk Thunder Rosa. Let's talk Thunder Rosa being scared shitless of fucking Jamie Hayter.
What?
She was gonna fuck Jamie Hayter? What?
So Thunder
She was
Rosa
afraid
though,
of it.
Thunder Rosa did mention though on a podcast that what you guys are hearing is a lot of bullshit. She is injured. This talk of her not being liked backstage, she's saying is
She's just not liked by three people. She hit somebody a little bit stiff and thought that person was going to come try and retaliate.
okay.
Again.
This I didn't hear about. I thought that's what you were referring to. The whole.
But no, Thunder Rosa has stated that that's not true. Now, of course, Thunder Rosa would state that that's not true.
Not true. Correct.
So we have to put that to it. But all the reports I've heard is she is legitimately injured.
No, I do believe she's legitimately injured. I'm just saying. E B C D E F G H I J K L
So
M N O P.
Fernando speculates Jamie Hayter wins the title, then feuds with Britt Baker, and that's how she gets the title back. I don't think we're ready for the Hayter versus Britt Baker. I love Jamie Hayter, so don't get me wrong. I think what happens instead is Toni Storm wins the title. Jamie Hayter wants to challenge. Britt Baker steps in front and is like, I'm the leader of this group. And then we get the feud down the road of Jamie Hayter leaving the group because she's tired of playing second fiddle to Britt Baker. And maybe it can have title implications down the road, but I don't think it's based on Jamie Hayter winning the title first. I think the feud is going to be based more on I'm stepping out of your shadow. If that makes sense.
They still don't have a woman's. Yes, well, they're doing. Are they doing it? They don't have a women's title, tag team titles yet, do they?
No.
Nope. But their women's roster is large enough now. It may actually be larger than the WWE main roster was when Vince retired. I really want to say was fired.
You're fired.
I really feel like was fired was the best thing. Ew, gross. That's what you want to see?
28
Gross.
28 women on the AEW women's roster.
Thanks for
total.
coming in, Hammy.
I mean, he wants to see you more than he wants to see us in a bra and panties match. Good thing he can't hear the audio.
Here,
There
he
you
can
go,
just-
full screen.
There you go. That's all you. 28 women on the AEW women's roster currently.
I would say that's more than WWE had when Vince was still around.
Okay, can I get off full screen here? What the fuck?
Nope.
No,
stuck.
you're there for Hammy.
There you go. You can't hear the audio, so basket
He
in,
doesn't
man.
know why we're making it so that you can see him.
Watch here.
Or he can see you or whatever.
He
I'm
just
trying to
landed
fucking
in
say.
Puerto Rico, so good for him. Safe landing, safe trip. He
Puerto-
decided to put on some
Puerto
Raw in order.
Rico.
Puerto Rico, excuse me.
Puerto.
Okay,
Here.
get me off.
No. Apparently that's Hammy's job.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, brother. All right, so what were we talking about?
Brother.
There. Full screen for Hammy. Now he'll know.
Did you get him off? No, he's still.
I don't know. Oh, Jesus.
Oh,
Well, there goes my job. Jesus Christ.
So,
man. Apparently I got hosed in different area codes. Another ludicrous
we have another. Jeez. I mean, here's the deal. Guys are. I'm gonna take him off the full screen. Guys are better with their hand than girls are. So I'm gonna assume
I mean,
that Hammy
that's
can do
not
some of the
necessarily-
things better than Ambrosia for JLB.
Oh, my
What
God.
in the fucking fuck?
Why are we talking about this?
I made this.
This is a
conversation
wrestling
evolve.
podcast.
This is my
Yeah,
fault.
This is your fault.
I own this.
Oh, Jesus.
That was my doing.
right now, the WWE main roster women's is 29. So they only have one more than AEW main roster.
That's even right now.
That's right now.
That's right.
So that's
we know
including-
for a fact then that there was less.
That's including BFAB coming back.
Right.
And Dakota and Io.
And Dakota and Io. Right.
Or,
being
I'm sorry.
rolled up.
Sky and or Kai
Dakota
and
and
Sky.
Io. Yep.
I know. I just prefer saying Kai and Sky.
You just think it sounds like Kai and Tai.
That's exactly.
Oh
why I
my
say it.
God, Kai and Ty.
That's exactly why I say it. There's no questions about that, and I'm proud of you
Jesus.
for recognizing that.
Don't make me
Choppy,
chop your
choppy,
PP. Yep. Kai and Ty.
What the
Did you
fuck?
know-
Okay.
Did you know that
okay,
Funaki-
Ambrosia, that latest. I can't imagine that because they don't fit.
Oh my God.
A two-fingered hand job. Was that better, bud?
That's
Two pinky fingered hand job.
That's closer.
He met Kai and Tai once, and they choppy his pee.
No, they went choppy pee pee. Where is it?
They didn't need the samurai sword.
I think somebody already choppy pee pee.
They just needed the nail clippers.
Nope. Oh yeah, that also was before Trish came back too. Trish actually would
Also
put it at
came
30 because she's not listed on the active roster yet. But
But has she signed a multi-year deal?
she has signed a deal. I don't know if it's been multi-year or just like short-term deal.
Or like a full-time
But
thing?
Their plan was to
But-
come back full time. Oh,
yeah,
it's getting
she's
late.
been wrestling on house shows.
Right.
I still think that's not really the best deal, but you know, whatever. I'm not the one making the deal, so
Deal or no deal? Pick your briefcase.
but yeah, so Trish Stratus is back. That's yay. So let's do this now. Let's actually just talk since this will be our last news show before
pay-per-view weekend number
Pay-per-view
2 of the
weekend.
year.
so let's
I feel like I could order a best and well, I know I could order a okayest and potentially a best or worst pay-per-view of the year shirt
Yeah.
this week.
I would anticipate Clash at the Castle is okayest. Worlds Collide maybe
May end up being a best.
potentially best. All Out also might potentially be best, but
There's been
So-
some really good ones this year.
so
I don't
as
think
of-
we'll have a worst this year.
Yeah, I don't think either of these will
It's
be worse.
really tough to beat Elimination Chamber.
So as of right now, Clash of the Castle only has 5 matches, right? I anticipate we'll get at least one more this week.
Do you think we get a pre-show match? No more Vince.
I
They
mean,
haven't,
no.
they haven't done it recently,
haven't
but
done-
he's correct. No Vince could mean pre-show
It's-
match.
Could mean New
Is this
Day
their first
versus.
pay-per-view?
This is their first full pay-per-view. They did the last one was a pay-per-view after Vince left, but he'd
Like,
only
it
been
was
gone a
so-
week.
Yeah, exactly.
So they didn't change any of the storylines. This is going to be the first full pay-per-view with so we got Roman
Fully booked
Reigns
by
versus
Trips.
Drew McIntyre for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. And again, that's both of them.
So Roman's keeping it.
So I would anticipate Roman's keeping it.
Yeah, I'll predict that Roman wins that.
Liv Morgan or Live Morgan, if you'd prefer, versus Shayna Baszler for the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship.
Let's go, Shayna.
I don't know if
give
it's
it
time
to her.
yet.
I think the storyline they're going to tell is that Liv Morgan is able to
He's
squeak
an
out a
MMA
victory here.
beater.
And
MMA
she's going to
fighter
thank
beater.
Riddle for her training with Matt Riddle.
Oh, she's training with Matt Riddle? Is that
Yeah.
what's going on?
Yep. They posted video of her training with Riddle. So that now she's going to know how to beat the MMA person. And in the end, because what they're eventually going to go to is Liv Morgan versus Ronda Rousey again. Where Ronda Rousey can finally beat her and be the baddest woman on the planet, I think. Anyways, 6-woman tag team match. Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, and Asuka versus Bayley, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky. Too early to give Damage Control a loss as a group. So
I would agree.
that's going to be Bayley, Dakota Sky, and Io Sky. Dakota Kai and Io Sky.
You done pulled a Bailey.
Sky. Yes. Yeah, I said the wrong thing. Riddle versus Seth freaking Rollins.
Match of the night.
Yeah,
N-
I don't know how it goes, but yeah, I agree with you. It's going to be the match of the night.
it very easily could, but I'm
Is it no holds barred? Not even, huh? It's not mentioned
Nope.
or anything.
nothing mentioned currently, right? I'm gonna reserve my match of the night for the 5th match prediction. But it's a dark horse. I'm just putting my eggs in a different basket. Riddle versus Seth freaking Rollins could go either way. I feel like Seth Rollins has lost a lot recently, so giving him a win could be a big deal for now and start building him back up. But Riddle's on a hot streak. Riddle's kind of their big baby face right now. So probably Riddle. And then the final match so far announced, Gunther versus Sheamus.
Yeah, this match should be pretty fire too.
And I just somehow or another feel like that's going to end up being match of the night.
Really?
I don't blame you for that though either.
I do. I mean, he's the one who came up with it, so I
Yeah,
have to blame
I
him.
mean, if anyone's to blame for it, it's me
your
because I'm the
predictions.
one who did that. I'm the one who made the prediction. But I feel no. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that Riddle versus Seth Rollins is going to be wrong or going to be bad. I just somehow or another think that Sheamus versus Gunther is going to steal the show.
I just feel like Sheamus is in the match.
I'm not a big Sheamus fan
Wow.
as a whole, but
I mean, did you not see the Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus match though from a few weeks back? That was fire
I just think
on SmackDown.
I think Gunther and Sheamus. That's a good combination. I think they're going to be they're
Well,
very
they'll be
compatible.
motivated in a way that most of the people aren't. Neither of them have been back to Europe for a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they'll both
Yeah,
be
they're both going to be
hometowner.
pumped.
And for that reason, I may agree with you, but I'm not going to yet.
So, but that's only 5 matches, and so I think we're going to get at least another match, if not 2 matches, added to that. Fernando speculates Johnny Gargano Gargano, I should say, versus Austin Theory added to Clash of the Castle. I wouldn't be surprised if it does. I just don't think that's the feud they're going with for Theory. I just don't.
I don't see Gargano in it.
Yeah, I could see Gargano interrupting a Theory match. Gargano needs to have a win, and they have to keep Theory hot.
Mm-hmm. I just think they're setting Gargano up to be main event, and Theory right now is not. So, says Shayna should win the championship and give Shayna versus Ronda. It's a better story.
Yes.
I would agree.
Yes.
I just don't think they're going to take it off Live this early. Number one, and number two, right now the story that they're telling is Shayna and Ronda is that Ronda is affecting Shayna and making Shayna darker, right? And so that a story will, I think, eventually happen. But right now the story is Ronda saying, "Listen, I made you a killer again. You know, you used to be a killer, and then you started being a lapdog, and now I've made you a killer." And so I think it's more them being on the same side rather than opposite sides. Eventually, there's going to be a versus. I just don't think it happens yet. Damage Control has to win gold if they're going to be the main women faction. I agree. Although I don't think they necessarily have to win. We've talked a lot on this show about how you don't have to be champion to be a main event character, right? It all depends on how you book the character. For instance, the worst thing they ever did to The Fiend was make him champion. Make him be driven by a championship. He really should have been entirely driven by chaos and disorder and fear, you know?
Disorder.
Damage Control, however, I can see being more championship driven. The question is, you know, what championship do you put them after? The Raw Women's Championship, the Tag Team Championships, and that's where it comes down. And then he said Riddle versus Seth match of the night. He agrees with you guys. I told you it's a dark horse, my choice. I just have this weird feeling.
I would say this does not happen as it failed miserably in the past.
Yeah. Dropping the money in the... Well, so here's the deal. The only way dropping the money in the bank briefcase works long run is if you make it into the rules of the money in the bank, right? For instance, with New Japan, they've got a thing similar to a Money in the Bank, right? Where if you you win this tournament, you then get a shot at the champion at Wrestle Kingdom, but you have to defend that at least once before then, right?
Oh, that's an interesting rule.
So effectively, they would have had to have made the rule: hey, you now have the Money in the Bank briefcase, but you have to put it up in a match at least once before you can turn it in. Then it can work. But right now, the only reason the Money in the Bank gets put into a match is if Theory says, "I'm going to put my Money in the Bank briefcase up against you." And Theory's character isn't supposed to be that stupid, you know?
Right.
And so, The only other way is if you do like the Miz stealing it from fucking Otis,
Horribly.
and that ruined Otis and didn't help the Miz in any way, shape, or form. So
Just gave him another title.
yeah, well,
Yeah,
it gave him a title as a transition.
Yeah. Like,
You know.
really fast transition with that.
Yeah, like a week. You know. And that's the deal. Is it all? But in the end, it didn't help him long term. It didn't help him. Like, I guess he can now say, you know, I cashed in the Money in the Bank and won the championship. Really? What happened to that? Anyways, and then Fernando says that the tag title should be won by Damage Control. That's probably the best case scenario there. Yes. Moving on to Worlds Collide. Only 2 matches currently scheduled for Worlds Collide. And that's Braun Breaker versus Tyler Bate for the unified NXT Championship. Braun Breaker, of course, the current NXT champion. Tyler Bate, the NXT UK champion, I guess, through the tournament that they were supposed to be holding over weeks. Anyways. And then I don't see them taking the championship off Braun Breaker there. He's got the rocket strapped to him, so I think he becomes the unified champion. And then Mandy Rose,
he gets pushed to the main roster and they give it to Tyler Bates.
Unless, but I think more than likely they make him the unified champion, and then they go into Survivor Series with NXT champion Braun Breaker versus unified WWE Universal Champion. You know what I mean? Undisputed. Which would be a big rocket strap. Even if he loses, you make that a killer match, and it's a big deal. Anyways, and then Mandy Rose versus Meiko Satomura versus Blair Davenport. Triple threat to unify the NXT Women's Championship. Of course, Mandy Rose is the current NXT champion, and Meiko Satomura, the NXT UK champion. And then Blair Davenport there for reasons.
She was the number 1 contender.
Yeah, there's a story there, but I mean it's very
There's a story there, but is there not a number 1 contender for the NXT champion?
Not at the time, there wasn't, no.
There's always a number 1 contender.
They hadn't named a number 1 contender.
So this should be a fatal 4-way. That's my point. Anyways, fun fact, Meiko Satomura, how long has she been relevant in wrestling? Oh, I don't know. In 1997, she wrestled in WCW as a...
Boy, she didn't look that old.
Yeah. I think it was 97. Let me see if I can find the picture here.
So Mako was there to see WCW.
WCW.
But she was probably also there to see the NWO.
Yeah. So, 1996, Meiko Satomura started appearing in World Championship Wrestling through the Gaia Japan's working relationship with WCW. She debuted in Gaia Japan in 1995. She is 42 years old.
Wow. Nice.
What do you mean, wow, nice?
I mean,
42 is not that old, fuckhead.
Yeah, 42.
No, I wasn't saying that it was old, fucktards.
2 years younger than me, fuckhead.
Yeah, but you old.
Fuckity fuckface.
Fuckity fuckface.
Can't find. This one's tough to choose, but I think Mandy Rose is on such a run in NXT that you keep it on Mandy Rose. It's tough though. I mean, it could go to. I mean, this could be a great way to rocket strap Blair Davenport, have her win it off of them, and then
We already know B. Priestley was good in AEW, so
Yeah, I loved her in AEW. So, uh, um, it would be great. Blair Davenport pins Mako Satomura and becomes the unified champion, and then you've got a built-in feud. Mandy Rose saying you didn't beat me, right? So, and then All Out. All Out is probably the one that's maybe fleshed out the most. Um, if only because AEW, with their 3-month turnaround on major pay-per-views, they build the storylines a little bit longer term. So there's going to be the final for the Trios Championship, which we're going to find out who that is by the end of this week. The semifinals are United Empire versus the Elite and Dark Order versus Best Friends. I anticipate it's going to be Dark Order versus United Empire.
Well, who's left? It's Dark Order, United Empire. Yeah, but isn't the
Yeah, United Empire versus the Elite and Dark Order versus Best Friends. Clear out your ears. I already said this.
I think it's.
yeah, but I think it's the Elite. Yeah.
I have a reason for saying United Empire, and that is Adam Cole Bay.
You think he interrupts this match?
I think he costs Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, and more specifically, him and the rest of the Undisputed Elite. Cost Kenny Omega and Young Bucks the match. Attack, something like that.
That's a hot take there.
That's just a speculation, but yes. Best Friends versus Dark Order is a little tougher, but I just think this whole trios tournament to me seems like it was designed to build up the Dark Order again. So I think United Empire versus Dark Order in the finals, and then Dark Order winning it. Now they could tell the opposite story we mentioned earlier, the Elite beating United Empire, and then Dark Order versus the Elite, and have one of the members of Dark Order not able to make it, and Hangman Page has to fill in, and then it's Hangman Page and the Dark Order versus Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. That also could happen, but I don't know. Anyways, you have Wardlow and FTR versus Jay Lethal and Motor City Machine Guns in a 6-man tag match. I can't help but think that this is going to set up potentially Wardlow and FTR challenging for the trios championship afterwards.
That would be interesting.
The way I think there. But I don't know. There's another one up in the air for me. Tony Storm versus Britt Baker versus Jamie Hayter versus Hikaru Shida could literally go any way. You know, I think Tony Storm's the winner, but I that's just me picking based on, I don't know.
You're a mark.
Well,
and I can't blame you. Tony Storm's earned it.
Well, the thing is,
for sure.
Here's why I think Tony Storm's winning. I think the original plan was for Tony Storm to beat Thunder Rosa.
Yeah.
And now with Thunder
Which
Rosa
created
not
the
being
whole
there.
thing of, she didn't want to lose it.
That's
right?
So that's at least the storyline. But, or at least what they're trying to say. Again, she's said that isn't the case. But so I think the plan was for Tony Storm to win. And that's why I think Tony Storm continues to win. But here's the deal. You know, there are 4 people in this match, and it's a 50-50 chance as to whether or not we have a 2-time champion or a inaugural champion. You know what I mean? Tony Storm or Jamie Hayter wins, and they're first-time champion. But Britt Baker or Hikaru Shida win, and we've got our first 2-time women's champion.
Either way.
It could go any way. I would say if I were to tier list it as to, you know, first, second, third, fourth choice for winning, I'd say Tony Storm number 1, Britt Baker number 2, Hikaru Shida number 3, and Jamie Hayter number 4. I think Jamie Hayter is probably the darkest horse out of this group, but that's just barely. It's much, and that's only because I think Hikaru Shida, being a former world champion, gets a slight edge. And that's it. Right. I don't know. Fernando thinks that the Elite's going to win the trios titles. You know, I feel like they're using this to set up another group, but I don't know. They're going to have a casino ladder match, but we haven't got the participants in. It's going to be interesting to see who the Joker is for it. So,
it's always an interesting, thing to find out, but really has only been an effective hype a couple times. It's just been okay.
That's it. It's in AEW's history, it's been kind of the most inconsistent thing. It brings a pop in, and you go, yeah, cool, and then they never do anything. So, Bryan Danielson versus Chris Jericho. We've got the American Dragon versus the Lionheart Chris Jericho.
This, I mean, should be fire, but I feel like I haven't been a fan of Jericho's matches as of late. But Daniel Bryan can make anyone look fucking fantastic. So,
that's my thing is, I mean, Bryan Danielson can bring people up. I just don't know if Chris Jericho has that match in him anymore. And this is not me trying to knock on Chris Jericho. He's still the GOAT, right?
Right.
But he's also getting up there, and he's beat his body to fuck over years. Right. You know what I mean? And I just don't know if he's got the ability to go to the level Bryan Danielson needs him to.
Well, I mean, how old is Kenny Omega? Kenny Omega's a lot younger than Jericho. Because, I mean, if you look at Kenny Omega,
yeah, Kenny Omega is 38 years old.
Oh my God! Okay. Okay. Yeah.
And
so
Chris Jericho is 51. But this is Bryan Danielson versus Chris Jericho. Danielson's 36.
Daniel Bryan's 36.
I don't know who Daniel Bryan is.
Guess
Bryan Danielson.
I'm gonna look it up just to make sure, but I was thinking 30. No, he's 41.
Anybody else catch Bryan Danielson accidentally call himself Daniel Bryan this week?
Oh, whatever. Same difference. Oh, who said that? Daniel Bryan said it?
Yes. Bryan Danielson said Daniel Bryan.
No, I didn't.
And corrected himself.
Mm-hmm. But that could go either way. I think Bryan Danielson wins, but with the storyline that they're telling with the Jericho Appreciation Society, I could see him winning through sports entertainment means. Swerve in Our Glory versus the Acclaimed for the AEW tag titles. I would say it's the Acclaimed's turn to shine, but I don't think it's time to pull the belt off Swerve in Our Glory yet. And I think there's still story to be told with the Ass Boys.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to cost the Acclaim the titles. Possibly even through their dad. You know, there's the conversation to be had. Is the Ass Boys turning on Billy Ass a swerve?
Or is it part of their plan?
Well, that's my point. Was this all a swerve to get the Acclaim to trust Billy Ass again to cost him this championship? I don't know. Anyways, Jungle Boy versus Christian Cage.
That's a Jungle Boy.
That's
win.
a Jungle Boy win.
Yeah, it has to be. But man, they built that story up amazingly well.
The unfortunate part is it just doesn't stick for longer than this pay-per-view.
Right.
So, otherwise, I would say, this can be a Christian win. I don't think it sticks after this pay-per-view. And Smarks might disagree with me on that. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I think I say this was booked amazingly well, but at the end of the day, I also maybe feel the last 2 weeks has been kind of stale.
I think it needs to end at this juncture.
It just needs to, or else it's overkill.
I think this is where Jungle Boy gets the win and puts this behind him. Christian Cage can go off to feud with someone else. Jungle Boy can move on to the next step in his rise to main event. That's what I think on this. The only way it continues, though, would be a Luchasaurus turn, where they tell the storyline that more specifically that Luchasaurus was only pretending to be on Jungle Boy's side just to lure them into this. I don't think that's the best storyline to tell, but
no, I don't either. Do I think that a Jungle Boy turn is a smart move at some point? Yeah, I even think, and I know people disagree with me, but I think that the better move is a Jungle Boy turn as a heel.
I mean, his promo a few weeks back last week was pretty fire when he got to swear a little. I think Jungle Boy as a heel might. I keep saying this every week, and I feel bad for it, but getting that Bailey's treatment, you know what I mean? Jungle Boy hasn't really gotten anywhere. He's phenomenal in the ring, but as a character, he's stale. Take away his curly hair, and no one recognizes him. You know what I mean? No one cares. Or his music, no one will care about him. So I think turning him heel
I think is why you can't turn him heel. At least not right now. Because you turn him heel, his music goes away. Because that's total babyface music.
Oh yeah.
Whoa,
for sure.
whoa, 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 whoa. That's sing-along babyface music. That goes away if he's heel. Mm-hmm. And yeah, no, I think Jungle Boy stays face for a lot longer. I think it's time, however, for him to maybe move away from the Jungle Boy gimmick. I get it. He originally wanted to not get famous off of his famous dad, right? But let's be honest, his gimmick. He might be called Jungle Boy, but his gimmick isn't as a Jungle Boy anymore. Right. He's wearing t-shirt and leather jacket and jeans when he's coming out, right?
Damn, we might make it to 50 tonight.
Yeah, fucking fraud, but you know.
No, there was at least like 5 of them that were legit.
Yeah, and at least 5 of them that were not. So,
hey, bud. I know whose bank account that the initial income goes into, so I'm going to go ahead and say, fuck you, you're going to do the Brown Panties match if we're not going to get there.
Dude, you're cutting me off here, man. You're exposing the business. Half of the fun is I have to pretend like I don't want to do it, so they all like go.
Oh, okay.
Shit, you're fucking me.
So we do have some comments that we want to go through here. We want to go through these comments real quick. We don't have to talk about the stuff that's about that, but Fernando will talk about the 6-man tag stealing the show. I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah. Oh, Motor City Machine Guns are fucking fire, and FTR.
I like this for the Joker. I really do.
I think that's a good. Here's the other. I think that's as good a spot as any, except what I said earlier about potentially CM Punk bringing him out as his replacement, saying, "Listen, I want my rematch, but it's not going to be me doing it."
Do we have listed 21. So far? Do we have all of them? No. I know there's 20.
There's none officially announced, as far as I know. They just announced it's coming back. So
I really like the idea of. Actually, what I really like is somebody else comes out and MJF fucking attacks him.
Yeah,
I can see that. I really like that idea.
But
steals.
This is for All Out.
Spot.
For All Out, yes.
Yeah,
but not during the pre-show. This will not happen.
They've
for
put it on
MJF.
the kickoff show. That's if
Sometimes
it's
it's been
on the
part of the show.
kickoff show.
It
If
won't
it's on
be
the kickoff
MJF.
show, it's not going to be MJF. If it's on the main card,
It'll be.
It could be.
Could be MJF. Yes.
yes.
So.
I just, like I said, I think they're going to shotgun MJF into the title picture, if he comes back, and while winning the casino ladder match, I think gets you a shot. I think the better way is some sort of team up with CM Punk, a full heel turn for CM Punk, and bringing out MJF sort of thing. But as of right now, we don't have any participants announced for the match.
Quick
Surprising. It's next week. But I mean, you know, I guess they could just announce everything on Dynamite this Wednesday.
Yeah.
So
They could, or they could not announce and,
just go.
just have it be all surprises,
Appreciate Grundle's trying to troll the podcast that he's fucking sitting here listening to right now. Thanks for the extra follow, guy.
He's a good guy, though. He just doesn't watch
He's
wrestling.
fucking trolling us. He also
No,
says,
it's
"Fuck
Ambrosia's
Jericho." I
Fuck
get it.
Jericho.
No, I'm not talking bad on him. I'm just, hey, if people are tuned in and we're what makes them fall asleep because of our calming, happy, delicious, delectable voices.
And we say things like, yes, 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 yes.
Oh fuck!
By the way, Grundles also
Oh,
does
fuck.
have a very, very radio voice. It's very spot on.
You
He might be better than all three of us put together.
Yes.
If that's what puts him to sleep, I am more than happy to do it, buddy. If you get us to the numbers, that's what we want.
Numbers.
Jericho's not the same anymore, Fernando. We wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah.
Again, fucking Grundles, man. Just fucking fall asleep, man. I'm just fucking giving it to you. Here you go. I'm laundry and a dryer. Stole that from Dane Cook, just so everybody knows. Fernando Luchasaurus is going to turn on Jungle Boy is what his thoughts are. I actually still think it's going to be Jungle Boy turning on Luchasaurus.
Yeah, I think that's the story to tell
I
there.
think
If
that's the
anything.
better move.
I think that's the better story, but I'm going to point out one of the things that Fernando said there. He says, Luchasaurus has never laid his hand on Cage since he turned on Christian Cage, right? He's come back to Jungle Boy's side, but he's never attacked and laid a hand on Christian, right? And that's why I think this was all a setup where now during this match, Luchasaurus is gonna reveal that he never turned on Christian Cage in the first place, that this was all a plan.
Yeah.
I don't like the angle. It's not my favorite way to do it, but that's what I just kind of felt like is what's going on.
And I just so you know, if this was regarding me, I wasn't frozen. I was busy playing a game because I was tired of hearing the same subject for like 15 minutes. So,
and to answer something for Ambrosia, if you're referring to DFA being frozen, his thing does this sometimes where he just freezes up.
I live in the middle of fucking nowhere, and that's just part of my life. It sucks.
And so he'll freeze for a bit, and then sometime he'll all of a sudden come back and move for a bit.
He just wants to be Sub-Zero.
I wish I was on glass, man. I got this fucking super expensive fucking satellite outside from
Elon,
and I thought it would be better than it is, and it's not.
Here's the, in some ways, it's better than what you had before.
Sure.
But,
sure.
Yeah,
I can. I don't have the JLB background as my actual screen now, so they can actually see my face clearly. Luchasaurus looked like he was on the brink of turning on him the other day. I also thought that too. I thought Luchasaurus looked like he was ready to, and with Jungle Boy having his back to him, I was actually nervous about it.
right?
I was like, oh my God, is this where it happens? Is this fucking where it happens? And it didn't. So, and then I like this. I like this a lot.
Mm-hmm.
The more I hear it, I keep liking it. So, I really like it with CM Punk as the TNT champion, and MJF is the world champion. Just fucking.
That would be a powerful.
Just call yourselves the Pipe Bombers or something. Just fucking. I
The
don't know.
Pipe Bombers. I mean, please a better name in AW. If randomly you are listening to this, not the Pipe Bombers.
They don't have to have a name to start off with.
Yeah.
The name can come organically.
2-man power trip 2.0. Just call themselves 2.0.
2.0.
Oh wait, that already exists.
No, they
it
are the
doesn't.
best
Not anymore.
in sports entertainer.
Entertaining.
He really did the overly Italian, obnoxious thing to an extra level. I felt like it wasn't that thick and crazy. Oh, that sounds wrong. It wasn't. His accent wasn't that thick and crazy. Like
I'll give you
2
thick
months
and crazy, buddy. You just wait for this bra and panties match on.
Oh my
Well,
god!
in the future, because we'll find out Wednesday night if it's going to happen. Thursday morning, technically. I have a feeling I might get woke up by a text message.
You guys also have to film yourself going bra and panty shopping.
I would do that. I'd film myself bra and panty shopping. Bra shopping. Again, technically my panties are still my boxer briefs, so I'm okay with that.
Oh, boo!
And I just happen to wear full
Or
length
booty shorts.
leggings. For
What about
that.
booty shorts?
Ooh, we can get the booty man as our guest referee.
Fuck no.
So he can take a bump from Smarks. You just want to bitch slap fucking Ed Leslie just for fucking being there.
Oh, gee golly!
Well, guys, we've talked a lot of wrestling. There's a whole bunch this weekend. Are we? I mean, we're
fucking
2.5
done, though.
hours.
Yeah, give me 1 second because we had a couple more matches. Ricky Starks versus Powerhouse Hobbs.
Jesus Christ!
9 matches so far
That's
announced
Ricky
for all.
Starks.
That's Ricky Starks. I think this is where you. They're really pushing Powerhouse Hobbs. I don't know. That's
It
tough.
might-
but
It might not be Ricky Starks. I just feel like it probably is.
Ricky Starks is a star one way or another. So,
Yeah.
Jade Cargill versus Athena for the TBS Championship. Jade Cargill's up to like 40-0 or something like that.
Yeah.
I
73
don't think
and 0
Athena's
World
the one
Championship.
Yeah, I don't think Athena's the one you break the streak with. Who it is, I'm not sure yet, but I don't think it's Athena. I think it might have been planned on it was going to be Chris Statlander. But with her out injured, I just don't know if you do it yet with Athena. I don't. Anyways. But yeah, we talked a lot of wrestling. 2.5 hours of this. Apparently Ambrosia's not asleep yet.
I think Grundle's is. That's good though. We got someone.
Grundle's might be.
Nice.
Ambrosia, I guess. Sorry.
Sorry.
I'm so sorry.
Sorry. Maybe
But,
next time.
Yeah. Geez. Oh, yeah.
Hey, has
Sorry
the
about
Brazilian came back?
Not recently, but we told him we weren't the best way for him to learn English.
It's valid. Yeah.
We don't speak English
Facts.
good, none.
We don't
Here.
speak Canadiano or Americano.
But anyways,
Side note, I do want to tell JLB, and I'm just going to ask a question. Have you watched the Game of Thrones new show?
The House of the Dragon?
House of the
No,
Dragon.
I am not. Despite with my nerdy glasses on, no, I am not a Game of Thrones or House of the Dragons fan.
I hated Game of Thrones. I watched
Really?
House of the Dragon this morning,
Okay.
and I will be tuning in weekly to watch that show. It was
Interesting.
fucking fantastic.
And are you into the whole?
Nope, I
Like,
don't
did you
like
not-
dragons. I don't like dragons or fucking.
Well, not dragons, but like old school take over this.
I was big on Yellowstone, which is still going. I am finding a way to watch 1883, which is part of that Yellowstone. So
Heard that
some
was
of the-
good. Yep.
Some of the Western type stuff I'm okay with. I've
No, but I
never
mean, are
really
you
been-
into that old school like kingdom take over,
No.
take control? Really? And you
that's
do
not
like
my
House
thing.
of the Dragons?
This
Interesting.
thing just fucking kicked off great. I was watching a dude get his nuts cut off first, and then somebody get their hand cut off, and this
Appreciates the gore.
part of the thing for Game of Thrones was it was too sexual for me, way too sexual, and I like me some sex, but one or two rape scenes into it, and you're like, I'm not watching this fucking shit
good.
anymore. So
That's
I
fair.
just figured if you
Yeah,
had,
but-
we'd do an after hours real quick.
Snap. I have not. We can still do one if you'd like, but it won't be a
All right, I'll
House of
tell
the
you.
Dragon.
I'll give some spoilers on an after hours. Go ahead,
Fair
Mark.
enough.
Hey, cool enough. I've been rewatching Doctor Who, so
I would gladly do an after hours with you on Doctor Who, and you could just give lessons, and I would pretend to be interested, like our fans would be.
so yeah. At some point, maybe I would love to do a watch along with Doctor Who. Experienced versus noob of one of you two, to get you into, but that's another podcast for another day.
Yes.
But no, I will
I'd be
probably
down.
eventually
Just tell me what season you want me to watch. What season you'd
You
like me
watch
to
along,
start
so
on?
you guys got to plan it together.
Yeah, we'd watch it along together. I wonder, can you?
Oh, Jesus, did you
HBO
just
Max
instantly
has the
jizz? Is
ability
that what
to.
happened?
What was that?
Because you're like,
No, I
was like,
was saying HBO Max has the ability to do like the watch along right in the thing where you can share the episode with someone. I just
Wait,
don't
Doctor
know.
Who's on HBO Max?
Yes,
God, that's my best fucking investment.
HBO
That
Max.
and Amazon and Prime Video. Fucking Netflix is a waste of fucking money.
HBO Max is so fucking good, and it makes me so angry that the reports are that Discovery is fucking nerfing it.
I gotta check where Doctor Who is in Canada.
But the reason I was saying that is it's on HBO Max. HBO Max has the watch along function where you can just share the episode with someone straight through the app.
Yeah, but keep in mind, I'm Crave, huh? It's
But
not HBO Max.
Well, Crave is Hulu. That's different altogether. Anyways, but my point is, I didn't know if it works over to Canada, right?
Right.
Fernando's hitting the one that I was about to say. I'll watch the Game of Thrones House of the Dragon eventually, partially because of Matt Smith. I'm gonna grab the right one.
Is there 13 seasons of Doctor Who?
Currently, yes.
Okay, then I found it. For me, it's on Crave.
Crave.
Okay. But I don't know, because like I say, right through the HBO Max, I can press share with, and then it send it to someone where it'll play it at the same time, and then if we pause it for both, yada yada yada, right?
Right, like Disney has. Disney Plus has.
Like Disney Plus has. They have that through HBO Max. But I don't know if it works over into Canada, or if it's just here in the States sort of thing. Anyways,
Fair.
But-
we'll check it out.
we will have to do this.
So, Power of
but
the
no,
Ring.
what I was saying is that the Power of the Rings, or Rings of Power, I can't remember how it's worded. That is the Lord of the Rings prequel trilogy, and that is the one. It comes on Prime starting this coming week,
Yeah, I
and
think
that's
it's
the
a Sunday.
one that I will probably watch. I will eventually watch House of the Dragon, but I'll probably wait and binge the whole season at once it's all out and done. Whereas the Rings of Power, I may watch as it comes out.
Rings of Power
I fell into
the burning rings of power.
So what's the foundations of Rings of Power? Power of the Rings.
It's the prequel to Lord of the Rings, so it's going to be about the formation of the rings
Oh, okay. When they're forged.
which is kind of
when they're
interesting.
forged, and the earlier days of that. So it's gonna have elves.
My precious.
It's
That's actually the voice Justin uses when he makes his O sounds. Oh, my precious.
I mean, at least he's not doing exterminate. That's a Doctor Who reference. But anyway,
Off the rails, which means it's time to start in the after
Yes.
hours and
Oh.
close out the podcast.
Yeah, we are going to go ahead and close this podcast out. I have a podcast to edit and upload and all that stuff. And
We
you
have
guys have
about
an
30
after hours
minutes
to talk about. So, but on that note, we're going to wrap things up. Oh, I got to answer this for Fernando real quick. Do you think the Warner shakeup someday can affect AEW programming in the future?
I think
I
it
don't.
absolutely will.
I don't think
Well,
it can.
they've already
I think it will.
mentioned.
However,
they want less swearing. So
nope, that report has been refuted by multiple sources that said that was not a Warner thing. That was a Tony Khan thing, and it was specifically he just worded it that said, "Listen, we have to be on our best behavior in the future. We have to start being a little bit more intent with our things, where we just can't go off the rails and cuss all the time. We have to have intent behind things." He didn't say you couldn't cuss. He just said it had to be more purposeful. You know what I mean? And so, but that also was not a Warner thing. However, what I'm gonna say here is I don't think it can someday affect AEW. I think it will, but how it affects is potentially the opposite of what some people say. Discovery is big on reality shows. It's big on non-scripted shows, right?
right.
That's why it cut like the Batgirl movie and a bunch of the other stuff, because it's not big on investing a lot of money in fully scripted high budget shows. It would prefer to put that money into reality shows.
More content.
More content. And specifically, I use the phrase reality because unscripted sort of thing. Here's the deal. AEW technically falls in the unscripted category.
So that's apparently how we watch it.
And that's why I think that with AEW, I think the Discovery merger could potentially be actually good for AEW, because it falls more into the category of what the Discovery HBO Max deal is about. It is unscripted. I'm using the air quotes, even though we fully know it's scripted. It's not like heavily scripted. It doesn't require a huge budget. It doesn't have huge superstars and all of this stuff. And huge special effects and everything. So I think this could potentially be really good for AEW in the long run. However, there is going to be some growing pains for a bit, as the new people in charge of Warner come to terms with and decide exactly how they want AEW to present their product. Already, though, the partnerships with AEW for House of the Dragon and Shark Week have been seen internally by Discovery as very successful.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So yeah.
There you go.
Anyways, but yes, Ambrosia putting up our links there, all down in the doobly-doos there. There's the link tree that she put up there. So you can follow us there. We're going to go ahead and close the book on the wrestling booking unit here. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Any place you want to. Facebook. We still recommend Twitch most of all, though.
And if you need help falling asleep still, we're going to do an after hours. We need our viewership to stay above a certain amount. So we'll talk in deep voices. Sorry, JLB, I know you don't have one, but
How dare you? My voice can go very deep.
But
puberty hasn't hit him yet. Yeah.
But yeah, make sure to like, share,
Sound
and
like
subscribe.
Ambrosia.
Share the podcast, share this stream link with all of your friends on your social medias and stuff. Get them to come
And stuff.
and listen. You can follow me on all of the social medias at Raw and Order WBU, just like it shows right down there. Or on Facebook at Pissant Podcast, because the Facebook is weird, right? You can follow DA Fabe at
DA Vincent Kayfabe.
I'm sure he's
There.
pointing to
That's
it, but
on
we
Twitter
can't see
only.
it because he's frozen.
I'm frozen. Oh,
Yeah, you've been frozen for a bit. It's okay. And you can follow JLB at
JLB420 on Twitch. Not on Twitch, on Twitter. On Twitch, you can follow me at twitch.tv/JLBTLC25. Real Talk Radio, though, is the brand. Anchor.fm/RTR. And stay tuned for an after hours with me and Fabe, where we're going to discuss stuff.
and Fangs. You can also support us by going to rawandorderwbu.myspreadshop.com. It's in the link tree that Ambrosia shared. That's where you can get cool merch like the Pissant Podcast stuff, the Sasha Bear, the Seth Franklin Rollins shirt, the autograph shirt like I have behind me here, and a whole variety of other stuff there. So head on over there. You can follow us support us on Patreon, just $3 a month, and
that's where our archives are.
yep,
So.
where our archives are gonna be and all that stuff. So do it there. And otherwise, just like and share and subscribe. But we are going to go ahead and close the book. Thank you all for listening. We will see you soon.
Ciao.